everybody. I actually didn't. I actually saved it before it got anybody wet.
Well, good for you. Yeah, that's good control.
Let us know when we're actually live.
We might have actually been. No, Cody's typing, so we obviously weren't live. So I see our data rate, so maybe we were.
That's been up for, yeah.
I'm just trying to make you paranoid. Be quiet. Don't make me talk about Painter's Pride.
We are on live. Dang it, Cody.
Okay.
I thought you said we were going live. Well, everybody who got to see all that. We need a clipboard. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. It is a stream that means I should probably pull up the comments.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to do that real quick. So hello, everyone. So obviously, we just had the big summer preview for this little game called Warhammer, which you might have never heard of.
Games.
Plural. Wait, there's more than one?
Sometimes you wouldn't think so, but yes.
But there are, right? Hi all, we watching the entire thing while avoiding spoilers or analyzing what was revealed? Yeah, we're going analyzing what was revealed. Hello, Aluka. Anachronis. There were comments telling me, you're live. Well, I'm glad I didn't say that thing about your mother. Anyway, she's a very nice lady. She's dead. She's still a very nice lady. Oh, by the way, that's the thing. She's not actually dead. She just doesn't want to talk to you.
Wow, that was good grift, Mom. Good grift.
Were the new plastics hiding in that Necromunda trailer? Yes, there were. So
yes.
We are gonna start with Necromunda,
right?
Which, you know, if we were smart, we'd put it at the end, so you had to watch the whole thing, or at least scrub through to get to Necromunda.
Right, but we're really bad at our jobs.
But and if you feel guilty about that, you can check out our Patreon linked below.
Right. So we're just gonna guilt trip you instead.
For less than the cost of a bottle of Games Workshop paint, which isn't saying much, is it?
No, not really.
So, obviously, new edition.
Yeah. Which they did not really allude to a new edition in the kind of the
preview.
They said a new Necromunda box.
I was of the opinion that we were not getting a new edition, and I've been saying this on on the internet for months. So I'll eat my own
hat.
Eat my own hat, metaphorically. I don't wear a hat.
You should.
I do in the sun, but Underhive doesn't have sun, so I don't wear it much. No. But I was of the opinion we're just gonna get a new box.
I thought the same thing.
And actually. I was wrong.
Yeah.
We are getting a new box, but we're also getting a new edition.
And they've cleverly changed the branding of Necromunda a little bit.
Yes. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go through everything they've said, and then we'll talk about it.
Got it.
Okay. So let's get all the facts. And there aren't a lot of facts. Because this is how previews work. There's not actually a lot of information. So the first thing that we're getting is Warhammer Necromunda Skirmish. Rebrand. New core set. Battle for survival in the Nightmare Undercity.
Yeah.
Which is weird to call it an Undercity, not an Underhive.
Yeah, okay. Well, so here's the thing, is that it might not, this is a starter product.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that catchphrase is, or that tagline, speaks more to people who may not know what an Underhive might be.
Right. So, new box set includes 2 gangs. It's Escher, Blades of the Matriarch, and Goliath Forge Smelters, which are ancient names they've pulled out of. So they're not coming out of nowhere. Each made up of 8 brand new plastic miniatures. Let's take a look at some of these right now. Cody and I were actually talking last night on stream about how the Escher and Goliath of all the gangs, while the plastics still look good, they don't go together great. And they're very rigid. And the Goliath are very undynamic. They're all doing the power stance.
Right.
Every single one of them is doing the power stance. I think it was Aluka who said, every single one of these guys is doing the power stance, which is fine, but it's not very interesting.
I mean, they're big muscle dudes.
Sure, but they're still able to get more dynamism, and they've done that.
That's true.
So, very interestingly, these gals aren't replacing the current kit, it seems.
That is correct, yes.
Which I actually kind of like.
I'm happy about that.
Because it seems like these gals, looking at their posing and the way they're built, they are also going to be a little more mono-posy. I think you're going to kind of get what you get with these.
It definitely looks like it's the modern Games Workshop. This part goes together like this.
Right.
And
these are all fantastic.
They all look good.
Obviously, nothing about the Escher has changed aesthetically.
I like the shotgun.
I love the double-barrel rotary magazine lever-action shotgun. If you say that words 3 times in a mirror, you make the guy from Forgotten Weapons pop through and explain why it's a bad idea.
Look, this is a British company, so they don't get it. So.
There are still actually in Britain lever actions are what you can get. Well, there's actually a huge single action shooting community in Britain for that reason.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, no, I'm not being sarcastic. I love it. If I could own a double-barrel rotary magazine lever-action shotgun in real life that wouldn't explode when I fired it, I would.
Well, look, I mean, 40K is a place for ridiculous, unfeasible weapons.
It's also a place where things just explode when you fire them anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, yeah, in character.
The box includes sample gang rosters, which are balanced against each other, so you can begin your campaign to claim them right away. Alternatively, you can add them to your existing gang and take advantage of their specialized war gear and equipment to give you the edge in the fights, which is a lot like the Tech Hunters.
It is, yes.
Interesting. You also find everything you need to start playing: a double-sized playmat, dice, range ruler, templates, conditions, status markers, and gang tactics and campaign cards.
Sure.
Here's some of the Goliath that I gotta zoom out really for because they're big boys.
They are chunky.
I mean, that guy right there, like, that's a great example of how you can do the power pose and be more dynamic, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's great.
I do love that weapon a lot. That is a really cool weapon.
Yeah, a lot of these are. And yeah, you.
I like the incendiation cannon or whatever it is they called it.
I think it's the rivet cannon, right?
No, the rivet cannon is a
different one. Oh, yeah. That's the I forget what it's called. Yeah, but all of these are great. I mean, he's the most boring one. He's still got his own thing going.
Yeah.
Paladin Pariah 325 $2. Well, thank you very much, Paladin Pariah. Swing in a skirmish.
Oh.
Waddle da 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 da. Josh has to get a straw hat for easier eating. Nom nom. Somehow a worse box than the existing starter box. I don't think I agree with that.
So I do have feelings about the starter box.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ready for that quite yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll finish. I'm just trying to catch up on
catch up on that.
Colin Price says more Escher variety is good. Would have been better if it had been done for more interesting looking gangs. I mean, I love Escher, so her knife is just a pipe shiv. Look at that needle. Just watched the stream and said to myself, gonna check how fast Miller does something about. Happy to see that you did not let down. I mean, we have a shtick. Just yesterday, I decided to get Necromunda with Guy and Escher after watching your videos. What a reveal. I hope you didn't buy anything. Although if you did, it looks like it's not going to be defunct.
Yeah, it's not invalidating anything that you purchased.
Except for the books.
We'll
get to that. First guy's hair, Kyle's peak. The stubber, solid-looking model. Mr. Hook for hands, if you know the rule book. Yes, that is what we'll talk about later. Okay, so. New core rule book updates the game to be quicker, more streamlined, and more balanced. Campaigns have been tweaked to offer more flexibility to players, and the dice rolls have been changed so each roll of the game matters. Now, here, obviously, those are all just words that don't mean anything until we see what they mean.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll give our thoughts on that.
Sure.
But here's what we definitely know for sure. Those dice are the same.
Yes,
I zoomed in and looked.
Yep.
Those templates are the same. I zoomed in and looked. I can't quite tell all the markers, but I still see seriously injured and a couple other things.
So it doesn't look like we're losing those core elements.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of us were worried about, is like losing a lot of the flavor of Necromunda. And if they're keeping the injury system that still has flesh wounds, severely injured, and everything else, at the very least, that's not changing or much.
And, at least in my opinion, that crunch is an element that makes Necromunda really fun.
Yes. I think I said off camera to Cody, if this had turned out that they were just turning this into Kill Team, where it was like these pre-built gangs with like only a few options and more streamlined like that, I would not be interested in Necromunda as much anymore. I'd continue playing this edition.
Right.
Now, does that mean I'm going to play this, love this edition?
We don't
know yet.
Can't tell.
The core set also comes with some Zone Mortalis Ruined Factoria pipes for your gangs to fight over, which tells me Zone Mortalis ain't
still
going anywhere. And if you look at that, those pipes are meant to go into Zone Mortalis, and that's exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Which is really good for a video series we've been working on.
Weird.
By the way, these look great.
They do.
There's other new terrain bits. All available in a standalone set where you can make even more scatter terrain, which is this.
That's a really cool piece of terrain.
Yes, I like this. And I mean, it's on Zone Mortalis. So,
right.
Clearly that's not going anywhere. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me wish I left more open tiles, but I guess that's a fixable problem.
It is a fixable problem, yes.
Yeah. Hey, look, hazard stripes. What are those stairs even doing? Oh, never mind.
What a dumb question.
Got some other great stuff here.
This terrain really, legitimately looks great.
As a terrain junkie, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Which we'll get more. We'll talk a lot about that today.
Yeah.
Josh being happy about the terrain stuff. The gang tactics and campaign cards from the core set will also be available separately. Keep track of your territory, generate scenarios, and deploy tactics to give your gang the edge in combat. So, this is the one thing that does suck. Looks like we're getting new tactics cards.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe they could all end up being the same.
That's true. And actually, of many of the things in Necromunda that I would say needed revision, it was tactics cards.
I like tactics as a thing they do.
Yes.
We've talked about how the method for game. I mean, check out our tactics tier list videos if you want to hear about what our opinions are. But short version is, we love the tactics. Tactic card acquisition sucks.
Yes.
Most of us just got them off of online because GW wouldn't sell them to you.
They literally did not print nearly enough.
And then, campaign and scenario cards. Like, okay, the campaign things being in cards is whatever. Scenarios being on cards, it says build scenarios. That's not something they've done in Necromunda.
No.
But we've also often said that the scenarios are often some of the weaker parts of Necromunda because a lot of the scenarios also just suck.
They do. There's a few, I wouldn't say a few. There's many that are just
There are many scenarios that suck. Now, gang book. So, of course, this is the big bitter pill that
it is.
None of us are happy about. And I'm not going to try and sugarcoat
Nope.
it and tell you that this is good. Well, okay, there's a silver lining, but that doesn't mean I love this, which is we've got 2 new gang books, Gangs of the Underhive and Gangs of the Outlands. We don't know what... obviously, your main 6 are going to be in here.
Right.
Looks like Squats, Ogrins, and Ashwaste Nomads,
Correct.
at least in here. Where do Palanites go? Who knows? Are all the gangs, are Corpse Grinder Cult still a gang? Are Outcasts still a gang?
Yeah.
Maybe. I hope so. Bad Zone Enforcers, are they just going to completely go away? That book's not that old.
That's true.
So, this does mean that they're changing the rules enough that they had to change all of this.
That does tell me that very little to nothing of what you have previously is going to be cross-compatible.
Correct.
At least not without effort.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we're kind of used to putting in effort for Necromunda.
Necromunda kind of does require effort.
But that doesn't make it any nicer.
Absolutely not.
And, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yes.
Because on the one hand, there were too many flipping books. And the book chase is probably the biggest barrier to entry into Necromunda.
Right.
What do I buy to get into Necromunda? Well, you buy your core book and your house book.
Right.
And also maybe this other book. And also maybe this other book. Then again, I don't think that's changing because these are...
No, because we've had this in the past, actually, where they've released books like this, and then they've come out and, like, for instance, Gangs of the Outlands. Like, when the Outlands book first came out, that had the squat stuff in it. And then, now Halls of the Ancients, which replaced all the content from that book.
Right.
And so I think we're going to have a similar situation here.
Yeah. The terrain is not great. It is a little bit Planet Bowling Ball.
For the starter, yes.
Luckily, there's no Vansar in the box. So, are those tokens plastic? They sure look like it.
They look like it, or they could be really thick card.
They had 3D on it.
Did they have?
Yes,
okay.
they had raised edges.
Okay,
so I think they're actually plastic tokens, which
that's nice.
I don't know, work.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll sell vehicle dice for the new edition. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Let's not get too hopeful here.
Yeah. So as we were going to mention this later, but as Lucas says, Games Workshop wants to clarify this is a skirmish game. I think for marketability, because skirmish games are kind of a big upcoming thing.
That's
right
true.
Now. Or not a big upcoming thing. They're a thing that has been popular for a while.
They're in the zeitgeist at the moment, yes.
So I think they're like, this is skirmish. Because, people might not know otherwise.
Well, people see the label Warhammer.
Right.
And then they think big armies and stuff like that. And especially if someone who's newer to the hobby, they might not know that Necromunda is a skirmish. Like, we all have the advantage of having decades of knowledge of Necromunda and what it is. So we see Necromunda, we know what we're talking about.
Okay, so look at us say, per the stream, the rest of the gangs. Underhive is main 6, the rest are in Outlands. I hope the rest does mean all of them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think... They're not going to act... Like, here's the thing about Venators and Outcasts. Venators got an Apocrypha, but that's something they've done before where they've axed things that were just in that free update.
Right.
Now, the wonderful thing about all of Necromunda, of course, is you can always make your own. And let me put it this way. If GW doesn't make Venators and Outcasts, you're going to hear from us real soon about how you would play those in this edition. Because those are some of my favorite games.
Sure.
And that
would, worst case scenario, that's something where we work together to all right, how do we adapt the past stuff to this so that you can play your favorite gang? Because the cool thing about Necromunda is, of course, that it's self-contained within the group that you play with.
Yep.
And you and your group can do whatever it is that you want to do. It's
But like, let's not and yeah, we've complained so much about how many darn books there are,
right,
and how much it sucks to buy them. Still sucks to have to rebuy them, even if I am happy. Is like, well, at least now if somebody who's getting into it doesn't have to buy 14 different things.
Right.
But I'm not gonna give them like a bunch of credit as if that's a good thing.
No, you're not gonna extend that too much, but trying to find the silver linings in these changes.
Right. And then we have a bunch of boxes of new, not very much not new, new models, old models. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to.
Oh God.
Get it to.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so we've got Escher. You've got a box of, basically this is a box of Escher Gangers plus the box of the Death Maidens and Prospects, Law Riders. For the same thing for the Goliath.
Yep.
Same thing for the Orlocks.
Yep.
Same thing for the Van Saar. Same thing for the Cawdor. I mean, obviously there's no Prospects in here. This is their Redemptionist box versus plus their normal box. And then the Delac get theirs. These are all good boxes. Depending on the price, these might be fantastic ways to get into a new gang.
Right.
If that Delac one is well priced, I'll probably pick it up because I don't have Delac yet. Same thing with Cawdor.
True.
If it's cheaper than buying the two things separately,
which I'm gonna guess it's going to be.
Well, and here's some additional cynicism for you. One thing I am very worried about is that if they rebox all these things, that will be an opportunity for the price to go up.
That's true. But what I think what I'm more likely to see in the future is that they package those things together and it is more of a savings.
Yes.
But it's but of course making those things harder to obtain outside of those box sets.
Yep.
And
I mean, so Paladin Paris says, marketing, or Valhalla says that Cody, apparently we're getting stream flickering. Yeah, it is flickering on my end too. I have no idea what is causing that. Sorry, guys. It's not our screen, but yeah, it is flickering. No idea. It might just be internet stuff. But yeah, so other people pointing out, it would be cool if they leverage the campaign system. Their decision not to do that, I wonder, maybe because I think a lot of people don't. I don't know. I don't know why. I could make guesses as to why they wouldn't leverage a campaign system, because that's what Necromunda. That's what the heart of Necromunda actually is. Right?
That is correct,
and will remain. Okay, so let's go back to the top. Let me check the comments real quick. Old art for new books. Yeah, but to be fair, I don't feel bad or targeted for that, because they do that with every game system they do. The core rule book has the Space Marine from last edition on there.
Right.
For 11th edition. If you don't get the fancy version in the Armageddon box, you get a version with Mr. Indomitus Crusade Man.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. And, I kind of dig the idea of repackaging these models as a lose. They're not phasing them out, and the new models are contemporary. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
It's a wiretap. Stop talking about Delac. No. Get some hair, losers. Anyway.
Oh, man.
You have hair. It's just here.
Fair. Okay, fair.
Yeah,
Thank you. I do not fit in Delac.
You're not smooth man like the Delac is. All right, so let's talk about it. All the stuff that is behind the scenes. So I think the big concern is losing the flavor of Necromunda.
Yes.
I am going to guess that's not going to be an issue, or at least not much, because the fact that they're keeping the dice, the fact that they're keeping those tokens, the templates, all that stuff, gives me hope that they understand what Necromunda is and why people play.
So at least mechanically, yes.
Mechanically.
Yes. Like you were talking about previously, though, I think maybe one of the things about streamlining that concerns me slightly is, like we had talked about, like the campaign system being a little less robust in favor of being easier to interact with.
Right.
And I love Necromunda and I love the campaign system, but let me not sugarcoat it. It is dense.
Yeah, and kind of bad in a lot of ways.
It is, yes.
We've said a million times, Necromunda is a very flawed tire fire of a game that we love. The flip point is that you can't scrub away the tarnish from something without scrubbing away some of the silver sometimes.
Right.
So, it's difficult to articulate what we would and would not like in a campaign system. I think what we would definitely all say we still want is I want what happens in the game to matter to my gangers, right?
Sure.
And to matter to my campaign.
Right.
I want the decisions I make in campaign to show up in the game.
Yes.
But there is a lot of guff that is never used that they could cut.
There is tons of that. Yes. Like I look at like in campaigns, like the reason why they had to add prospects to gangs is because their original vision for Necromunda was that your Juves are kind of the main characters of the gang,
and
then
nobody ever did that because the gang rating system meant that was like you were shooting yourself in your foot if you actually tried to promote a juvie up to being a full ganger.
It took so much work to do that.
Yes,
which I understand the vision for that is that it, like if you think about it in terms of narrative and lore, like it would take a lot of work for you to rise up through those ranks to, you know, become a full-fledged ganger, then, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And I get what that's trying to emulate, but at the same time, it's a lot of games.
Yes, yes. You know, and we all have, and the problem is, I think maybe it's just because their target demographic is not getting any younger.
That is also true.
Especially not for Necromunda.
Well, and I touched on that a little bit with, I was talking about 11th edition with the new campaign system that's replacing Crusade. It's card-based, so it's designed to be run over the course of a weekend rather than, of course, of, you know, several months. And I don't want that for Necromunda. I do want this a similar amount of robustness with like the detail and the character and the crunch that you get with your gang, but at the same time, like you said, there's a lot of fat that can be trimmed from this system, and so I as always, I am cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I'm certainly not in full panic mode, seeing that it looks like a lot of the bullcrap has remained, and I mean that in the most positive way.
Yeah.
So I'm not in panic mode like I would have been if they had just showed off a bunch of models and like some just D6s in that box.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if there had been no templates and no chits or anything like that, I'd have been like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Which, you know, there are lots of great campaign games that only use D6s or whatever.
Sure.
So you can have a game that does that. I just wouldn't trust Games Workshop to do it.
Well, and it's also that just Necromunda has a lineage of using all those additional things to propel its game forward. And
I will say, Anacron, I don't think that given that the campaign cards are a core feature of the core box, I don't think the fact that these are called skirmish means that this is what we previously colloquially called skirmish Necromunda as being separate from campaign Necromunda.
Right.
I think Aluka is right in that they're literally just calling it skirmish because of like that tells people that you only have to have 10 to 20 models.
Well,
and that's what they're trying to do. Is get across this is a small game.
Like I had mentioned, they subtly changed the branding of Necromunda to more communicate to, first of all, tying it like making it Warhammer Necromunda is, you know, that's obviously just like tying it into like the greater Warhammer universe. And then, of course, like you said, saying skirmish kind of communicates what it is, you know, what it kind of is about.
And like, so Paladin Pariah points out, the 11th campaign system is more of a linked battle system.
Correct.
Than it is a campaign system, which you talked about in your video on whether it's going to be as good as the other one that I can't remember the name of.
Crusade,
thank you. Because people liked Crusade, but Crusade was also kind of a linked battle system.
Crusade was extremely dense too,
yes.
in a similar way that Necromunda was extremely dense. I liked Crusade. It was just that my time as a busy grown-up meant that I couldn't participate in Crusade.
I mean, you have like the Age of Sigmar campaign system, which is incredibly RPG-ish.
Yes,
it's a very, very dense. There's no vehicle dice because there's no vehicles in there. I have a feeling we'll still see vehicle dice.
I don't think vehicles are going anywhere.
No. Well, they said vehicles aren't going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Getting audio problems from one of you as well?
Oh, no.
I'm not hearing. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I can't hear it.
Yeah, so if we did, we'd go crazy.
Right. So, yeah, now I'm assuming they'll still sell campaigns to us later. The big problem is I'm also guaranteeing you that there is only one campaign in this book.
Yep.
So all those other campaigns, you're either going to have to modify, and like we were talking about starting a Hive Secundus campaign.
Right.
Well, depending on when this comes out, that may or may not happen now, right? Because unless we can modify Secundus for this or anything
and
else.
we'd really just have to get this book in our hands to know if we can even do that.
We don't know until that happens. So I'm not worried. There is, of course, still, I am, trepidatious to see what happens.
Like, cautious optimism is what I encourage in this type of situation where something that you love is changing in a way. And it doesn't, like, looking at the stuff that comes in the set, I am very, like reinforce that it's not changing mechanically in a way that is bad.
Another $5 from Paladin Pariah.
Well, thank you.
And £5 from Valhalla Melton. We heard about your complaints about Deloc not getting their own vehicles, and so we've decided to address this concern by removing vehicles for everybody. No, they called out vehicles. Those are not going anywhere. Also, how much money they make off of a flipping ridge hauler, that's not going anywhere, man.
That's fair, yeah. Hopefully they rebalance ridge haulers.
No, Cian Girin, I think people were confused. They were worried that campaigns might be going somewhere more because I think people see skirmish on there, and previously when you said Necromunda skirmish, if you played Necromunda,
it was just a one-off game.
That meant one-off games. I think that Games Workshop just doesn't care about that. That is not what they mean when they put skirmish on this. This is not only the book for skirmish. This is just that's their rebrand.
Right.
This is now Necromunda, Warhammer Necromunda Skirmish is the full title of this game.
Right.
Which
just like Warhammer Underworlds,
Warhammer 40,000, all this stuff. And, that's a branding marketing decision that I don't care about. It's going to continue to be called Necromunda. I don't care.
Yeah.
we are not going to start doing a thing where we call this edition Necromunda Skirmish. It's just Necromunda, 2026.
It's just going to be, Games Workshop has a big priority in recruiting new players. That's a big part of their business strategy. So like this rebranding is a part of that, to just communicate more off the face value of looking at the box and giving the customer more of an idea what's in the box.
Right.
Whether you like that or not, that's kind of up to you, but that's our marketing strategy.
Right. So the one thing I am concerned about being in here or not is all of the mechanics that were particularly added with the House of Books.
Okay.
So now the problem is that for half the gangs those mechanics sucked, so who cares?
That's true.
But they were a big part of the flavor. I mean, if Vansar didn't have their tech stuff, would anybody notice? But if Cawdor don't have their miracles, you'd really notice. If Escher don't have their toxins, you'd really notice. Goliath, Gene Smithing, Orlok, legendary names. Those things, on the other hand, they only took a few pages each. So hopefully they're still in there. That's the one thing that I'm worried about them doing, is kind of rebooting everybody back to base gang status, because that is taking away flavor that, I'm sure they're going to re-add later for more money.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that I think that we're going to see a light version of all of those things in the house book, not in the house books, in the compendiums. And then as we go through the cycle of new books being released, and Orlok, when their book comes out, then they reinforce and make that system more interesting.
What I'm worried about is that we get the index effect, where it really does kind of file these down.
I do think we're going to see that,
and I'm not necessarily a fan of that.
Okay, I agree with you on that. And a big part of that is because for Necromunda players like us that have been in this for a long time, we have a relationship with those mechanics already, and so losing those is like feeling like our toys are being taken away.
Right. Even if it ends up being more balanced, because some of those mechanics are not balanced. The Goliath gene smithing you can use to make some really stupid things.
Right.
We've talked about that, and Necromunda is a game that functionally requires all players to kind of have the same end goal, or someone's going to have a bad time.
Right.
And I don't think you can write that out of a campaign game.
I don't think so either.
If they try, the only way you can do that is by super balancing everything, and then it's not. That's how you lose flavor.
And I say what you will about Games Workshop, and I have a lot to say about that. But I do not think that is their goal with Necromunda. I just don't see that. I think that because the people who like Necromunda really, really like Necromunda.
Yes.
And
King of the Sea Monkey says, I just woke up and is it end of the world? No. We don't think so. We think it's pretty much not the end of the world. This is certainly not. And again, we have to see the rules.
Yeah, we know so little.
I mean, for all we know, ballistic skill could be turned into throwing skill, and there are only thrown weapons. It's not going to happen. But we don't. All of this is just sound and theory right now.
Right.
We know nothing about what's actually coming.
And I'm not I'm not the kind of person, nor do I encourage people to jump to conclusions right away about
one of the worst things that always makes me, I usually disengage from games around new editions, specifically 11th edition. I very much disengage because I am so tired of the hot takes of this is the worst thing, this is the best thing, because so much is still in flux.
Right.
And especially when making content, like if we were smart, we would make content about all that while it's in flux, and then you make something new, and then you get engagement. I guess we're not smart, or maybe we just can't handle it. We will do that with Necromunda, though, because it's our bag. But even then, that's because Necromunda moves at a slower pace.
It does, yeah.
And someone mentioned Melta, another $5, £5, sorry. Outlands definitely squats, Ogrins, Nomads. I assume the Forces in CGC too, as those have Munda kits. Yeah, I don't think Enforcers are going anywhere. They just got new plastics.
Right.
And not one new plastic.
No, lots of new plastics, yeah.
Corpse Grinders.
So,
Corpse Grinders are a little more on the fence. If they're gonna... I don't think they're going to. If they're gonna kill Corpse Grinders, this is when they're doing it.
Yeah.
Chaos is a huge part of Necromunda. The threat of the poorly treated workers who make up a hive world falling to chaos is the primary threat to a hive world.
Right.
Honestly, if you don't have that represented in Necromunda, you're a fool.
Right.
I don't think chaos is going anywhere. There's a possibility it might not be in this book.
Right. And
I will bet Malstrain Gene Stealers are not in this book.
That's a good bet, actually.
Or sorry, one of the books. You know? I bet they're not,
because they first of all, they don't neatly fit into the Outlands, and neither do Corpse Grinder
or
cults.
Spryers in this book.
Or Spryers.
They have plastic kits.
It's got new plastic kits,
right? But GW does dumb things sometimes. Check out Warcry if you want to see what sometimes the dumb things they do with plastics.
They're trying to make. I can talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, someone said it felt it was weird that it was Jamie Morisco. I thought it was kind of weird that they released with so little fanfare. That's because this is still a specialist game. Warhammer Underworlds didn't get an animated trailer either. And Necromunda is more in the line of Warhammer Underworlds or Blood Bowl, which is not going to get a trailer.
Right.
Or than it is even Kill Team, Kill Team I think is not under the purview of specialist game. I believe Kill Team is under the purview of the main, and so they get more resources to do that.
It does.
This is one of those things where even though we're getting a new edition, I feel like we are still not under the eye of Sauron that is Games Workshop, and that's a good thing.
It's same, same with unless you want to count the movies as trailers, the Middle-earth strategy battle game is also kind of falls under that same category of like it doesn't get the eye of Sauron literally. Yeah. So
I heard this edition is ultra competitive where you ante up your team and the winner takes them home. And Necromunda pink slips.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Joke's on you. I was getting rid of those models anyway. Cody no longer has models.
No, poor Cody.
Poor Cody and his dice.
Not his Skaven dice.
You want Necromunda to not get too much attention. Terrible. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Personally, hope they change how melee works. The first charge rolls 1,000 attacks and wins is kind of lame. And And I guess here's my thesis statement of this is, I love Necromunda. Necromunda is a unbalanced tire fire of a game.
Mm-hmm.
So if they start taking steps to fix some of the stuff that is like objectively broken and kind of annoying and clunky about Necromunda, I can't complain that they try and fix those things.
I agree.
We still have to see how it happens.
Because you can fix something wrong.
Yes, you can make things worse. Games Workshop is very good at that.
Yeah.
They've certainly done that a lot. I'm a guard player in 40K, and guard very often...
Astra Militarum, sir.
Cut to violence, cut to black violence. Guard very, very often knows what it's like to get hit with the ugly stick, where the fixes to they have problems, last edition. Indirect fire was bad. Like, that needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
That was wrong. And then guard got fixed with indirect fire, and then didn't have a lot left that made them feel fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm worried about is there's a lot of broken, stupid bullcrap in Necromunda.
There is. I mean, and I think it survived as a game for as long as it has because it does require everyone that's playing in the campaign more or less to work together. And so like that, you can get away with more of that in an environment like that. Whereas, a game like 40K isn't really built to be like that.
Oh, wait. Painted the circle. Look at the reference sheet. Did you see a reference sheet in here?
Ooh.
I missed that.
I didn't see that either.
Was it on the video? I'm not going to try and run the video because if we're having internet problems,
yeah, that would not help the issue.
But if there was a reference sheet, because he says it had Perils of the Warp on there.
Ooh, okay, good.
And as he says, probably means GSC and Chaos ain't going anywhere if there's Perils of the Warp on there.
That's true, yeah.
That's a very good shout out.
If you can find that and post it on Discord or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the fix things that aren't fun, not fix the things that aren't balanced. Right.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I'm getting to with the removing the tarnish. Like, if you want the game to be accessible to new people, which unfortunately that's who's actually the target audience here. Like,
it is.
Hate like, to say it.
This box is targeted towards new people. That's
us suckers ain't who they're trying to get.
Right.
They got us, right?
Yeah.
And that's always worth remembering, is that line goes up and that means growth.
Right.
But like, yeah, the balance in Necromunda is always a problem, and we've often said if you try to work out the balance out of the game, that's a dumb idea that you'll never be able to do.
Right.
But there are things that I think, but there are egregious examples, and there are things that are not fun for wrong reasons.
Correct.
That can be fixed. And here's the other big thing is that some of the fixes, there are some things that people think is a problem in Necromunda that other people do not think is a problem in Necromunda. And vice versa.
And you're never going to be able to please both sides.
Some of those things are going to get changed in ways that I'm 99% certain there's going to make changes that even if I love everything else about this edition, I'm going to be like, that's stupid.
Right.
That was dumb. Why'd they do that?
I would love for initiative test to go away.
Nah, I wouldn't. I love Escher. $10 super chat from Paladin Pariah. Thank you very much. He has a question. Will the community not embrace this and stick with the current version, or will the trend of abandonment we've seen for the last 10 years win? The current game will be more robust for a while longer. And Paladin, the new edition will take years to be as robust. Aston Militaro, Aston Mil, what now? You're in the Imperial Guard, says Bahan Melda, with another 2 pounds. The stream is paying for a channel copy, apparently. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you very
much. You all again. Ooh, that's a great question, Paladin Pariah. Will the wider Necromunda community embrace this or keep playing the old edition?
I think that's just going to come down to the rules.
I'm going to tell you right now what our thoughts on that is I'm going to get my hands on that book first, because it depends.
But if you put a gun to my head and ask me to make a prediction, I think that the broader community is going to accept this. If you want me to make a prediction, and the reason why I think that is because, first of all, being a specialist game means that the Games Workshop designers have been able to put a lot more passion and time into this. So, and I think that they're going to work harder to keep the soul of this game. Maybe that's a little bit too optimistic on my end, but I do think that, I mean, there are some people who play Necromunda, the 90s Necromunda now.
Yeah, like Necromunda 95, right?
And that's fine. Like, that's great. Like, I've always said, when people tell me like I still play 3rd edition 40K, I'm like, great, that's awesome. I love 3rd edition. That's when I started.
It's fun. It's a fun tire fire.
Yeah.
For the same reasons.
So, like, I don't begrudge anyone who decides that they want to play the previous edition.
No.
Or aka the current edition. And then but I do think, broadly speaking, most people are going to adopt this new edition.
Probably because that's what the culture we live in of consumption of your stuff works now.
That's also true.
We've kind of all been trained to do that in a large capacity. By like that's how video games work now.
It is.
Things just update, and it's kind of and that's how Games Workshop has done a very good job of training us Warhammer players to just like, okay, new edition, you're all playing this now, right?
Right.
Like, I don't know if 11th is better than 10th because I haven't played it. Most people seem to think it is. Yeah, I know, man. But I'm trying to not play without painted stuff, and unfortunately I play Guard.
Astra Militarum. And
no. Horse Heresy 3.0 fractured the community badly. I didn't realize that. That sucks. Working on it, Valhan. We are trained to be suckers, right? And I am sucker too.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna get my hands on the book. If I get my hands on the book, and honestly, what it's gonna come down to for me more than anything is how good is the campaign? Is it only a linked battle system? If it's a linked battle system, I probably won't engage with it a lot, because then what am I playing Necromunda for?
Sure.
That's the in-game crunch is only in service of a story.
Sure. And
if the in-game crunch is still there, but it's not in service to a story, if I don't feel like anything I do actually matters long term, then in that case, no, I'll probably, or what I might do is, honestly, and I guess this has made me even more of a sucker. I kind of feel that it's inevitable that the community will embrace this. So if this edition doesn't end up being something I like, you're going to start hearing a lot of videos from Josh importing things he liked from the previous edition into this one. It's also kind of one of my favorite things to do. Like, you know, I said, if Outcasts and Venators aren't in these books,
you'll figure it out. Yeah.
I'm going to figure out how to put Venators in this book. Because you can just do a little math to make, you know, tweak things. You try and make sure things are balanced. I'll run it by the community. I'll run it by my gang group, of course.
Right.
Which is what you should do, right? Don't show up and say, I'm playing Venators, and then, you know, they're all 20 credits or something like that.
Right.
But you show up and go, hey, is this a cool idea? Does this look balanced? Then you play it, and you have fun doing that. That's the beauty of Necromunda. And I feel like Necromunda has that culture of house ruling that you see in, like, Dungeons & Dragons.
Absolutely.
Or at least used to. I don't know if Dungeons & Dragons has changed that way culturally because of all the different changes that Hasbro's made in Wizards, where they're trying to monetize this constant update thing. If you think Warhammer is evil, you
just look at WotC.
Yeah,
like,
look at WotC and see how that actually happens. So, you know, if the campaign system isn't robust, I'm still probably going to use the new rules,
but incorporate the old.
Incorporate old content into new rules,
right?
Which I think is the real winning formula. Unless the new rules are just completely awful or bad, in which case then I just ignore them entirely. I hope you own Hellhounds for 11th. I do own a Hellhound. Only one. I do like a good chem tank. Depends on the speed of a release. Yes. And here's Ziggy Zidane is making a great point. Going from an edition with all the toys to one with my first Munda levels of stuff is, and I'm paraphrasing here, that works. I mean, that's always a problem with like 40K because, you know, if you're last in line to get a book, you feel like you're last in line to get toys.
Right.
With the release schedule of Necromunda, that's
a really great point.
Yes, really great point there, Ziggy. Like, you know, it's bad enough having to wait a year for your codex, or 2 years.
Right.
And then, because 3-year cycle. We're probably not going to have a 3-year cycle. I still don't think this is starting.
Certainly don't think so, yeah.
But if I have to wait 6 years to get a Deloc book, like, you know, because Deloc would last to get their book. And for a long time, we didn't start playing Necromunda until after that.
Right.
So we didn't really know what that's like. You just got the short end of the stick.
Right.
And if that happens, you are going to see a lot of porting over of old content into... you know, if the first, but on the other hand, they're not going to release all 6 house books at once.
No, absolutely. There's no way.
So
there's no reality where that happens.
What's going to happen is that Escher or Goliath are going to come out first. And this is why I'm worried about those mechanics. If the mechanics aren't in there.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And Cody here is playing Escher and I'm playing Orlok and Cody just has a bunch more toys. We saw that with Ash Waste, right?
Absolutely did. Yes.
Now, Ash Waste was at least... I didn't think that was a huge problem with Ash Waste, because let's be bluntly honest, a lot of the vehicles that were released for the gangs weren't as good as, like, the customs.
Ridge Hauler.
Not even just the Ridge Hauler. The other gang customs were also pretty good.
That's true, too.
Escher Cutters are very specialized.
Yeah.
I actually really like that all of the gang vehicles are very specialized and felt like you didn't really need them to have fun in the Ash Waste.
That's good.
But if they just do the mechanics, that's hard to swallow.
That's very fair.
That's probably my biggest fear and worry about how to handle that.
Yeah, if I have any apprehension about the new edition, it's definitely, like you said, the campaign system being less detailed, and I guess I would also, I'm just always going to worry about the core mechanics of the game. Now it's been a little bit alleviated by seeing all the tokens and stuff like that, but there's just a lot of little things in Necromunda that kind of give it that flavor, and like how certain pieces of war gear work or how certain things like interact, and some of that is totally useless and not worth worrying about.
Right. But like someone points out, you know, all the old Germanis Personae.
Yeah.
There's a huge library of Germanis Personae, and they're probably all going to be invalidated for a bit. There will be some of them in here, but are they all going to be in there? Probably not.
No.
Now, the reality is also that a lot of those Germanis Personae were not actually, like, good.
No.
Or important, and you could probably just port them over directly. My proposition for this, and I guess this is a call to action. Whoop, 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 whatever. If there's not stuff in the new edition, make it.
Yes.
Port it over.
Absolutely.
Be the one to create something, and it might be flawed at first. You'll get feedback on it.
Yeah.
Do it. Now, that's not me saying, what I do not want to say, though, is that, like, oh, the new edition is inevitable, suck it up and play a new edition. You don't have to do that. Even if we move on to it because we like the rules.
Right.
Like, again, If there's stuff that I can't play because that I want to play, I'm gonna put it in the new edition if the rest of the group wants to move on to new edition.
Well, that's the thing with a game like this is that and I've said it before, is that there's a lot more freedom to do that. Like, you can't do that with like 40K. Like, that's, that's
very difficult to.
Yeah. Whereas like this game is a group effort, and so I feel like there's a lot more freedom to engage like that.
Tabletop Memes put it great that pre-game, post-game should be crunchy, but the game itself should be streamlined. Like that line of thought.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
If you've never, for those of you out there, I do recommend the podcast that Snarling Badger, which is Tabletop Memes and Vince Venturella do, called the Snarlcast. It is about indie game design, and they have a concept called the game Oreo, because you have a crunchy before game, you have a soft, creamy in game, so it's fun to play,
right,
and then you have a crunchy post game, so you get a nice Oreo.
Not like the BattleTech hardtack.
No, the BattleTech is just a shortbread cookie where it's like, yeah, it's not even a shortbread, it's just hardtack, right? Where it's like crunch all the way through. Now, I have spoken to Adam from Tabletop Meetings many times personally. I do what he describes as crunch and what I describe as crunch are two very different things.
That's fair, yeah.
And I don't, but that comes down to your individual perception. Right. So I still do like the idea. However, I guess I have a tolerance for an Oreo with crunchy bits in the middle.
Sure.
So I feel like that's what Necromunda is. And I don't want the Necromunda game to be super squishy.
No, not at all.
Like, I want there to be getting knocked over and pinned and set on fire and run around screaming and insanity. But, like, insanity is one of those things that is something that they should probably revisit. Because right now, insanity is... right now, insanity is really good.
Yes.
Like, kind
of absurdly good, actually.
Absurdly good, and absurdly difficult to play around if you get hit by it.
Right.
And not really fun to engage with. If someone has, like, it's one of the reasons why we've said in our tier list that cursed weapons are so incredibly powerful and, like, often need to be, we always say you need to have a narrative reason.
Yeah.
Because getting hit by a cursed bullet and you just go insane, that's something that they could fix.
I agree.
We could come up with a real long list of things that, like, want to be fixed. Taurus was specialized in flipping grid colors. Yeah, and like that's the big Paladin's kind of Paladin's very negative on their release schedule, and I am worried a lot about that.
I totally sympathize with that. Yeah.
So my call to the community is if you end up playing the new edition over the old edition, and I don't know where we're landing on this, by the way.
Nope, we haven't figured it out. We don't know.
I gotta see the new book. I gotta see the new book. So like if they release the Escher one, I'm gonna say like use the Orlok legendary names in the new edition. Talk about it with your group. But, like, if the Escher comes out and they have toxins and Orlok come out and Orlok doesn't have anything, put him in. Just do it.
Right.
Same thing with, the Acts of Faith. Like, as long as the mechanics roughly line up, and they should mostly line up, we even see this within Necromunda, where there's stuff that didn't work with other things that can,
Right.
So, yeah, it'd be the change you wish to see in the world kind of thing. And that was from another super chat from Paladin Pariah. One thing I'm sure of, you dudes will teach me the new rules well. Yes. Here's the thing. Even if we end up not playing the new edition, if we keep playing this old edition, we will still be talking about the new edition.
Because that's what's, partly because it's what's relevant for our channel.
A big reason why is that's, like, hate the game, not the player sometimes, right? Like, that's how YouTube works. If we kept playing an old edition, though, we'd probably keep talking about it. We will just label our stuff appropriately.
Yeah.
Do you have to now go back and label every single one of those old videos? Cody!
We got a job for you, buddy. And
I think I just got a middle finger raised behind the camera. I'd be unsurprised if Outlands has Ogun squats. Yeah. Sounds like an awesome game design sandwich. The silver lining of the porting is they will be showing the method with what they released straight away so you can duplicate it if needed.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get the vibes of it. Like, let's say that they remove intelligence.
Okay.
Which is a stat that comes up with, like, 3 things.
Right.
If they were going to kill a stat...
Intelligence would be the one.
Even when I play Van Sar, I don't make intelligence rolls that often, right? Like, they don't really come up.
Right.
Then you just remove things that are keyed to intelligence. So, yeah. I'm in danger. With the new edition, I hope they make a new Necromunda video game on the level of Blood Bowl. I mean, unfortunately, the best Necromunda video game is just playing the Hive Scum and Darktide.
It really is.
Hired Gun was okay.
Hired Gun was okay, but extremely flawed.
Yeah, very well. I mean, it was a Hired Gun. It was kind of the perfect Necromunda game because it was just on the cusp of being really good.
Yeah.
And it also shows how what makes Necromunda good is other players, because if you don't have other players to make it really good, it's kind of just a letdown.
It's not a good single player experience.
All right,
but anyway.
we've been talking for almost an hour on Necromunda, so let's I'm gonna put a 5-minute moratorium, which is if you have any other last questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat now, and we will answer them. But any final thoughts?
I mean, overall, and this is how I generally am with any of the games that I'm really interested in, I really enjoy, Necromunda being one of them. I am excited with cautious optimism. I think, especially in the specialist game sphere, Games Workshop has a lot of freedom to hone their passion and make the game that they want to make rather than the game they have to make.
That's part of why I'm less cynical on this, because someone mentioned, like, they said, spoiler, they're going to screw it up because that's what they do for a lot of things when they redo them, and then it takes a while to get better. That's with their big games. The small games, the specialist games, again, they don't have the Eye of Sauron on them, so they have so much more freedom to be better games. Like, a lot of the time.
They can make design decisions that aren't necessarily marketing decisions.
Right. Yeah. And that's the big thing. The real concern is you don't play a house game. You're just screwed for if you want any new toys for the next 2 years. Right. They're probably not going to release anything.
And that's true. I play Squats.
Yeah.
So, like...
But now Squats at least just got new plastics. Like,
that's
Squats
true.
are pretty set. But, man, this kind of... It takes, even if we do get Chaos eventually, because I don't think Chaos are going anywhere, they'll be more playable because they'll be on the same level as everybody else.
Sure.
But they're not going to get any new crap for probably a while,
Right.
Because if they did release new Chaos before new Dalak, then people would riot. So, yeah, I don't know. That's the one thing I'm majorly negative about, is not even having to buy new books. It's the release schedule of them. Because there is no universe in which they release all the books at once. That is not how marketing happens.
It'd be amazing, but it's not how it works.
Star said has very little terrain. Yeah, and like Heresy War Game says, Star said has very little terrain. GW should know by now they should have focused things around dense terrain. Absolutely. The one thing I think that is a missed trick is I know people hate this,
but having walls.
Well, I'm gonna say it. I think that they should have had cardboard walls.
Yep, I agree.
I know people don't like the cardboard in the new sets. They want the old days of when, like, we had the Zone Mortalis things in there. But first off, you didn't get enough Zone Mortalis to make a really good board for the starter. And second off, with prices being what they are in the entire world for everything, if it was a box of, like, this is already probably going to be a $300 box.
You think it was $300? I'm thinking more $220.
Really?
Yeah.
I think by the time this comes out, I think it's going to be at least $250. Because again, it's got plastic terrain in there.
Yeah, but it's not like but if it had like walls and stuff, like even if it had like the boarding actions terrain.
But I think this should have had a bunch of cardboard terrain stuck in it, because we do very firmly believe that dense terrain in the Underhive is how you play.
Right. I am not convinced that this core set is actually going to be a fun gameplay experience by itself,
which is kind of the problem.
Yes.
Because that's kind of the problem with Necromunda, is getting people in because they buy the Dalak versus Astro box,
it's not designed for people who know how to take the most advantage of this planet bowling ball.
Right. There are also, if you look at the models in here, there aren't a lot of long range weapons.
Yeah.
A lot of shotguns and short range things.
Couple stubbers, but that's.
I think this is kind of a self-balancing thing where this box is meant to be played internally. You're meant to get the other terrain if you want to play on not Planet Bowling Ball. I also don't think it's going to be entirely Planet Bowling Ball, because a lot of that is like good scatter. But
no, for sure, yeah.
We also don't know what the new terrain cover rules are going to be like.
Right, they could be more like obscuring, like how if you're some percentage behind something, then you can't be seen at all, regardless of like how much we don't know. We just don't know.
You think they'll nix some of the core tactics? It's so hard to say, because they could be very lazy and just not change anything. What new plastics did you see in the trailer? These. Or are you talking to someone else asking? The new plastics are the new gals here.
Yep, the Escher and
new gals and guys. Yep. These Escher are new. It's kind of hard to tell because they match the design doc of the old Escher.
They really did.
That is definitely brand new. Same thing with these folks. They are brand new. There's a special game premium GW Taxon. Yep.
That's true.
Should have been a 2x2 board with dense terrain. I absolutely agree. I think that would have sold Necromunda and what Necromunda is more. But
with core sets, that's not necessarily GW's goal, which is, trust me, I got opinions on that. But there's that these core sets are designed to get people sucked into the game and then get them into the ecosystem,
Right.
and then they become us.
Heresy Wargames, my guess is they're shifting rules towards Kill Team because it's skirmish and doing very well. I don't agree, because they have Kill Team. And one thing GW is usually pretty good at is not self-competing with their own products. And so that's the great question is like, if they have Kill Team already, why play Necromunda?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to do something, they're going to lean into that. And again, the fact that they're not changing, like, this ain't Kill Team's injury system.
Right.
This is templates all the way, and you still got all these tokens here, and those dice with all the stuff we know and love.
Right.
And because, you know, like, that was my fear when I had heard the rumors of a new edition, is this is going to be Kill Team with vehicles. Looks like we dodged that bullet.
I agree. And Kill Team, actually, and the thing is that Kill Team is under the Eye of Sauron.
Yes, yes, and is very market tested to an extreme. There's some of the stuff that came out about the new Kill Team edition afterwards is like why certain decisions were made with like the shape-based economy that they later abandoned.
Right.
Like, is because it was just so focus tested in the worst ways possible. Looks like we dodged that bullet. Now, that doesn't mean that they might take some stuff from Kill Team. I think that if we're going to be playing with like the concealment and engagement, we would have seen that.
I think that would have been talked about.
Yes, and I don't think they did that.
And I just like, you know, if you look at like, you know, how Underworld is completely different from every other game. RIP Warcry is different from every other game.
Yeah. My biggest complaint with the new edition is it means cults will never get the rework they deserve in the current edition. That is honestly, yeah, that's also my other. That's not something I'm worried about. That's just something I'm going, darn it.
Yeah.
Like, because if anybody needed help, it was the cults. You know, more than anyone else, more than even corpse grinders. We talked a lot on stream yesterday, because we stream painting on Thursday nights. We talked a lot about that yesterday. It was like, you know, corpse grinder cults are a very annoying game that needs a rework, because if you're playing corpse grinder cults, they feel very one note. If you are playing against somebody who's using corpse grinder cults for power gaming reasons, they're not fun to fight in any way, shape, or form. But if you are, it's a bad experience for the players because it feels like a half-baked gang. If it's a bad experience if you're playing against them and someone's really playing them nines, because they're actually an incredibly powerful gang. It's just all around corpse grinder cults just really needed a rework. They needed the enforcer treatment.
Yes.
And I wish this had been delayed another year and we'd gotten one last round of that, you know? Because then but as it stands, again, when this book comes out, you know, I know Mitchell is very into Chaos. And other folks here are as well, because Cody plays Chaos. And I am always wanted to play Chaos, but I've never played them because I think they're bad and not fun to play. If Chaos ain't in this book, stay tuned for the Miniatures Rundown Community Chaos PDF, free on, you know.
Free? No, we put that on Patreon.
You can't do that. Oh. That's how you get the hit with the legal thing.
I want a cease and desist letter.
Stop trying to get us in legal trouble. Paula Dean's done nothing wrong. That's not true. But
we have that on record right now. Cody, clip that.
I said that's not true. Don't worry. It'll be in the VOD. This is my justification. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, stay tuned in that regard, depending on... It's going to take a bit first. First off, we have no idea when this is coming. Nope. This could be 6 months away, which is going to be kind of annoying, because then we'll feel like nothing else we do matters until then.
Right, it's that edition lag.
Yeah, we could play a Secundus campaign as one last hurrah. It might be fun.
Actually, we probably should do that.
Yeah. Thankfully, Kill Team is preset teams and no... Yeah, like, again, the fact that they mentioned that, like, there's still, you know, customizability and there's still war gear options and all this stuff means I'm not worried about this being Kill Team.
Right.
All right. So, that's our thoughts on this. Obviously, every time we get a drip of information, you will hear from us. Let's transition now. We're going to go through... We are going to talk about everything else we saw on stream because as much as Necromunda might be our main squeeze, we like everything else they talked about too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about all... And plus, there's some weirdos. I love some weirdos. So I'll keep that up for now, but let's talk about 11th edition.
Okay, the starter sets.
New starter sets. So, we all knew these were coming.
Yeah.
Did not think there would be terrain.
No, that's pretty cool.
And yeah, this is going to be $300.
Yeah, no.
That is a $300 box.
Yeah. least it actually feels like $300.
It does. Like, I mean, $300 of Warhammer, which is
well, okay, perspective. You know,
it's really about $50 of plastic, but we know. Yeah, again, we're all trained, right? It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly contents of Armageddon.
My problem with the starter boxes is my same problem with the launch box, which is like they're gonna release all of these models later in more upgradable and more, variable versions that are better.
Right.
So, and as somebody who doesn't play either of these armies, I mean,
it's not interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't interesting to me personally. This is probably gonna be a great way to get into 40K if you.
And that's what this is designed for.
Yes. So I'm not the target audience. It's fine. I don't think this is a starter box to go woohoo about, but also it's nothing to be bad about.
This is the thing that your local GW store manager will try and push on you.
Cody says in chat, we'll do Secundus regardless of edition because several of us bought it, including me, like 3 days ago.
Oh, bad timing, buddy.
No, I got because I got all.
Shut
those...
up! It's a joke.
Oh,
calm down.
I'm gonna just do the rest. Oh, ow! Charlie horse. Oh no. Oh.
All right. Do you need a hand?
Ow.
Josh is dying, actively dying on stream. Everybody, please give to save Josh.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll from down here for a bit until this goes away. So, getting started with, again, they've done
$1 to save Josh's life.
Stop browbeating them for money.
I'd help you, but I don't want to.
Oh, ow. I am full screen, aren't I?
No, he's taking the stream full screen.
I'm back. I'm back.
So he can't. So no one can see you slowly amble up that chair like an old man.
Let me tell you, kids, getting old sucks.
Old.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so this is also not exciting, but it's it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
They've done this several times. This one's more.
This is actually probably a pretty good value.
Well, and also you get complete units, whereas the previous ones you got 3 intercessors,
which was really annoying.
What do you do with 3 intercessors? Nothing. So we've got to get started with Space Marines. I do not think you are going to see this for every army.
No, you will not. It's only for Orcs and Space Marines.
Right. Yeah. It'd be cool, but you won't.
But you get 11 paints. Like, depending on what the price is, this is probably not a bad buy. Oh God.
Okay, first off, Cujo K911. Did they announce something for Necromunda? Did I miss anything? You did, and I'm sorry. New edition. We aren't terribly worried. There's some stuff that sucks about it. You'll have to watch the VOD.
Yeah, check out the VOD.
Sorry, we talked about it for a full hour, and we want to cover everything else in here. Yes, they did it. It's really important. You should watch it and read it. Could have sworn they said the starters has multi-part models? Oh, did I miss that? Did they say the starters have multi-part models? Because if they did, I'm a little more. I mean, it's still not for me, but I'm a little happier about that.
I didn't hear that.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Workplace injury. You have to check the cramp. Don't worry. What I did is I extended it when I was on the ground there. Duke Moosey. So, live edition, but it's all just stuff we already knew was coming, unfortunately. Yeah, so we're going to kind of go through this quickly. Introductory set.
Whatever.
Again, it's fine. It's cheap. It's got the cardboard terrain that I wish they had for Necromunda. It's fine. Obviously, we're going to get...
we are not the target audience for these products.
Nope. New Space Marine Lieutenant. Whoop-de-flip.
Oh, good.
Now, currently, this will be the... all of these miniatures, Space Marine Lieutenant, 5 Intercessors, Orc Knob, and 5 Boys.
These are different sculpts.
These are all new, and they're all different sculpts, and they will only be available in here because they're trying to get people to buy it, even if you don't need to buy this.
I will not fall for this particular trap.
Nope, it'll come out later. Cody says, I will. Orc players, take note. This is also an easy way to add a rocket launcher and a big shooter to the boys squad from the Armageddon box, because the boys squad from the Armageddon box doesn't come with all the heavy weapons, because that's how they do things. That's why I hate them. Anyway, Cody just said just kit bash. I'm going to say it really loudly because, I mean, we hear the Miniatures Rundown are really big fans of kit bashing. If you haven't noticed, that's been like 4 of the streams I've done because I love it. Paint sets, they're fine. Whatever.
These are usually good value.
Yeah, they're usually good value for what they have. And, Kevin's more of a fan of Games Workshop paints than I am. There's a few that I still love, though.
I like most of the Warhammer Citadel paints.
The Warhammer TM, Citadel TM, Paints TM, and GW Pots TM. Here's what's a little more interesting. Combat Patrol Battle Zone. So this is a battle zone this is not the painted terrain. This is all
no.
unpainted.
This is the gray terrain. Yeah, but it comes with the templates.
Yes,
and it comes with basically half a battlefield worth of terrain.
Yes. So while I will say, just in general about 11th edition's terrain, the templates are an improvement for a terrain mechanics. Wish we'd gotten rid of the L-shaped ruins.
They're still there.
We could not defeat the L-shaped ruins, and as a result, this is fine terrain. None of it excites me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Even as a terrain junkie, it is just more L-shaped industrial ruins. That's fine. I'll probably get a set because I like terrain, but you know,
I mean, it's fine.
it's good.
Yeah,
I don't dislike it,
but it just looks like every other piece of 40K terrain.
Pretty much.
Yeah, except for like these parts. These parts are more interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, oh, by the way, of course, all this would make great Ash Waste terrain.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't spark joy, you know.
Yeah.
I do like that they're parceling it out.
Yes.
Unfortunately, with GW terrain prices being what they are, all of this will
insane.
be way too expensive.
Yes.
Speaking of way too expensive, this is the box of the pre-painted terrain.
Yes.
And so we kind of called this. We were like, when they release the painted terrain, they're not going to parcel that out. It's going to be one hugely expensive box they want you to buy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say we told you so, but we told you so.
Yeah.
This thing is going to be, unless they are not making mini and aggressively pricing it, this is going to be ludicrously expensive.
Yeah, I have tell you what, for this terrain set, you can buy yourself a 3D printer. And
yeah. Yeah, or find a friend who has an FD, because terrain, like resin printing is hard and gooey and gross. FDM printing is not. Like, for the cost of this terrain, you can buy a bamboo A1 and a spool of terrain to print all this. Now, it won't be pre-painted and it won't be as good.
But I'll also say though that I am extremely skeptical of the quality of the pre-painted terrain. Because what we saw on today's stream and what we've seen in a previous teaser video, apparently those aren't the same as what's in the box.
Correct. And now, I do know the process they're using. It's called UV printing.
Yes.
And UV printing can actually make some pretty good looking stuff. Mm-hmm. So it might not actually be that bad.
Maybe it's not. I do plan on checking it out. I am curious.
The close-ups here,
they look great.
They look great, and if that's what they come out of the box looking like,
okay.
This project is very much not for me as somebody who's a printer, B, a terrain painting junkie. Like, spoiler, you're gonna see a video where we paint this terrain.
Yes.
Right here. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy this box. I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna tell you how I do it, and it's not gonna take me very long. And it's gonna be 98% dry brushes.
Right.
And enamel washes. So, like, I think that the process is worth it. But there are some people who just absolutely really don't like doing terrain.
Honestly, I don't like painting terrain,
right?
Despite all the terrain I paint. And
you do it because for you the product is worth the cost.
I need the immersion.
You're probably not going to get this either.
I am going to get it because I'm extremely curious.
That's fair.
And I don't mind having more terrain around.
That's fair. Let me see. Okay, interested as multi-part starter sets have Armageddon. Okay. Let me see. Electroservant is cool though. They said the terrain would be a little more than 2 combat patrols. Yes. FDM print to go burr. I mean, yeah, like literally. Cost a bit more than 2 combat patrols.
So we're looking like 350 plus or minus.
It's a lot of money.
It is, but if it's I don't know. I'm probably gonna get one.
Oh, this on the stream they actually pulled it out and clipped it off the sprue.
Oh, they did.
So the stream was, and again, this actually does look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if it looks that good, I don't think that's actually that awful of a value.
Push fit so it can be broken down for storage. That's handy.
That's
terrain handy. The terrain storage is a problem. Again, I'm still not the target audience for this.
Right.
I also don't run our 40K nights. He does. And again, maybe even then we're not the target audience for this because we play in a game store where we just like have shelves and stuff.
Like we have permanent homes for terrain.
For us, that's not a big sell, but for a lot of people, it is.
Well, I mean, for tons of people, like some of the secret sauce is like one of GW's biggest markets is people who just play in their basement with their friends. And it's not people who play in a game store who play in conventions and play in leagues.
We're the outlier, not the main audience.
So like this product is designed for that busy dad who plays twice a month with his buddy in his basement.
Yep. And if you are the kind of guy who only plays a few times a month and has disposable income, this being a $300 box is maybe not that scary.
Right.
And because you can always make more money, you can't make more time. Because if this is twice as much as the unpainted version, which it is,
like, and if it does look this good, I'm actually kind of interested.
I mean, like, and if it saves you however many hours of misery,
right?
Then yeah, like this has a place. I don't want to poo-poo this, because this has a place in this hobby.
That being said, I have several buildings on my printer right now.
Oh yeah, like again, this is not right. And like as Valhalla says, I don't care to paint L-shaped runes for 40K, and this means I don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it's like it's not for me. But if you just need a thing anyway, and you just want to put it together, and you're just
I believe it comes with the templates too, which is nice.
It does, yes. They're cardboard templates, which some people don't like. I don't actually care.
I got to use them this week, and they're fine.
Yeah,
yeah.
Fine. All right,
they're high quality card.
So yep, we saw some pictures of that. Also a battle mat, which okay,
yeah,
cool.
whatever.
Yeah, it's a battle mat. I mean, it's like soft touch finish, smooth surface, and that's great.
I could not care less about that particular thing.
For that one, I'm just gonna keep going to Table War or Fat Mats or wherever. So, none of this is for me, but it's all. Well, no, that's not true. I'm probably gonna get this Battle Zone.
Yeah,
because I like terrain, and this is great.
There's some really cool stuff. Yeah,
yeah, it's great ash waste terrain.
Like those pipelines and everything are all great for Necromunda.
I'll probably kit bash this terrain with other terrain pieces, like Mechanicus terrain pieces, so it's not as L-shaped ruiny, because you don't need that for the ash wastes.
No, you do not.
But still there.
Yeah.
All right, I don't even know what's next. What's next is Mr. Bond.
Oh yeah. New York truck is great.
That's a glow up. Like I know the other truck is iconic. I do love the old truck. I am buying this because this is going into my ash wastes.
It's a really cool model.
I hope it's the size of a ridge hauler so I could use this as a rig.
That'd be really cool.
Yes. Cool. Like I will do what I did from this. If you guys saw the racing video we did, I did a Scum Racer.
So they compared them on stream, and it's roughly the same. It's a tiny bit larger than the current truck.
I don't know how big the current truck is. I don't have one.
It is smaller than a ridge hauler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can add bits.
Yeah.
So anyway, my Scum Racer, I de-orked it and used that for my Scum. Guess what I'm doing with this? So even though I don't play orcs, I'm buying this. I also think it's just a great model. I love it.
It's really good. It's really good. And the other one has a giant buzzsaw. Like the other build of it has a giant buzzsaw. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good model.
Vehicles are peak for Necromunda. Yeah, like again, stealing your orc bits. Yeah, you can have all the orcs. That's great. Use an alternate version with a gun.
Yep, it's got the horizontal buzzsaw.
Yes. I actually like this version a little bit better. It's more like a hot rod truck, which I do like. There we go. Some close-ups there.
The classic rocket launcher you can put on the orc buggy. Like
new mech to keep it all repaired.
I like that model a lot.
Zoom out a little so I can catch all of it. Yep, new mech. That's great.
Yeah.
The war boss, who we knew this was coming.
Yeah.
So he of course will be a multi-part war boss that you'll be able to build with,
and it's a good looking orc.
The power claw, unless you're poor Cody and who had to kit bash all of them. Or not even kit bash, just make from scratch his plastic card power claws, which look great, but not everybody wants to do that. So yeah, that's great. I like his little squig on chain.
Yep, I like squigs.
And of course, Codex Orcs, which will be the first Codex of the new edition.
Right, and they talked about the changes coming to the codexes. Very briefly, I'll just talk about so they're apparently soft cover in a slipcase, and they have a lot more lore in them than codexes now do, and less rules because Crusade's gone.
Yeah.
So they didn't say it explicitly during the stream, but they pretty much said the Crusade content's not in there. So take that for what you will. I already called that Crusade was going away.
Yeah.
So I am kind of surprised it is orcs and not Space Marines.
Same. I'm not honestly enthused about it not being a hardcover. I know it's in a slip cover, but that's not quite the same.
Well, here's the thing: is after a certain point in time, you just don't even use your codex anymore.
That is true. Specifically 3 years.
Yeah. Well, okay. But even during the course of its life,
I know. I'm being a jerk, but yeah. I hope with all of that, that means that they have not gone up in price.
So they probably have, or at least stayed the same, because I'll tell you,
it stayed the same. Like I would get it. It costs for everything have increased.
Yeah.
And that does affect Games Workshop and their printing costs. So if these went up to $70 and they've also gone, excuse me, and they've also gone into softcover, and like more lore is not a benefit to me when I'm buying a codex.
Understood.
Like, that's cool. I'm a lore guy. I like lore. But that's not what I buy a codex for. And that's one of those things where it just annoys me that they're just not doing PDF.
Or just having a light version of the codex that just has, like they did for the main, like they did for the Armageddon rule book. It's just the rules. There's no lore in there. The lore is a separate book. I guess that's just how they're gonna want to do things. I know that printing softcover is cheaper, but also then they're making a slipcase, which
and Cody does point out the new core rule book was cheaper.
That's true.
It's only 20. That's why I bought it. Because it's like what? $35? $30?
25
bucks. Yeah. It's like that's. I want that. I want rules to be $25.
Or if you could just
not.
You know what? I would also pay just to buy a code to put into my app.
Exactly. And instead, I have to pay $70 to put a code in my app, which I know why they do it, but there should just be a digital version you buy on your app, and that's the. Not doing that is a huge missed opportunity. I mean, for me, not for them, because obviously this is. I mean, because here, but
it's hard to say because like one of the things is like so many people who, and I encounter them on the regular that just they don't buy their codex and they just use Wahapedia or New Recruit, and I think they would maybe like if they sold a code for $20.
Yeah,
and
it's the more people would buy it if you sold it, if you made it accessible. But for $70, yeah, that sure doesn't make me want to go out and buy a book.
Right.
So, and that's that's a Games Workshop problem.
Yep.
Standalone Armageddon units sooner than expected, honestly, because that's a little. Yeah, I was kind of expecting this to be later. Now, granted, we don't know when these are coming out, but it took longer for the.
It's probably to be a few months.
Yeah,
if I was to guess.
So these are all standalone units. They're great. Well, I love that because
if you want them now, you can just get them on eBay.
The command pack, which is now what they're gonna sell for,
like tokens and other stuff.
Every Sunday when I say the requisite tokens and dice, well, here are your requisite tokens and dice. Except the command pack doesn't have the dice; those are separate. Although they didn't have a picture here. They did have a picture on the stream though, and they're orc dice. They're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, double-sided tokens and all this stuff, and that's all fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
How long are you going to be able to buy it? Because that was a problem with the faction packs.
If you don't get it right away, you will never own this.
Yeah. That's I hate that. And of course that reminder that we are doing who's going to get their first set of new units.
Yes.
Down to Battle of the Mire.
Yep.
I'm calling that orcs are going to win this.
I think so too.
Because I mean, if Tyranids managed to win against the Marines, the orcs are.
Oh yeah, I mean
there are so many orc players,
and they are dedicated.
Yeah, does this mean every faction will only get one codex per edition? No more multiple Space Marine codexes every edition? We didn't get multiple last edition.
No, we only got one Space Marine codex.
Yes.
We got other chapters, like the other special.
That's never changing. Yeah, they know they can milk you for a Space Marine codex and a Blood Angels codex. They're doing that. Yeah. That's not changing. But it's not like, what was it? Was it 8th or 9th where we got literally 2 Space Marine?
It was 9th. I believe it was 9th.
Yeah, we got 2 Space Marine codices. That probably won't happen again.
Yeah.
All fine. Warhammer Academy.
Okay.
It's the perfect kicking off point for anyone new to the hobby and those looking to brush up on their Warhammer knowledge. Got a maid who is always asking questions and doesn't have the internet, apparently? This is the place to join to point them.
Look. This is fine.
It's their new Warhammer Plus video library.
Yeah, but it's free, which is nice.
It is free. It's basically, well, here's the thing.
No, it's a marketing tool.
It is. I fully sympathize with wanting to not have to deal with YouTube.
Okay, yeah. From us having experience with that.
But that's because we kind of like rely on it. They don't. It does explain why they named their channel something terrible because they don't care anymore.
That's true.
It probably means you're not going to see a lot of painting and stuff on their YouTube channel anymore.
Which, to be fair, it was fine.
I never watched it anyway. The fact that it's free means I have nothing against this. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just it's just a marketing campaign.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
cool.
That's what it is.
If they had tried to paywall this, I would be making fun of them endlessly.
Right.
But they didn't, so I won't.
Yeah.
You know,
it's fine.
Everything else is already online for you. Okay.
Now on to some real meat.
Yeah.
So Old World. So the Chaos versus Cathay in new starter box, but it is not a new edition.
Correct.
It is just a new rule book that includes errata that they've done over the years that Old World has
so
been
this is basically like the Bretonia versus Tomb Kings box.
Yes.
This is Chaos versus Cathay.
Which is new sculpts for the Chaos Warriors.
Yes.
Which are gorgeous.
Yep, and the Chaos Warriors did need it.
Yes. Oh yeah, they sure. And they also it comes with a bunch of stuff to play.
Yep.
You know.
So none of these are completely new to this box.
No.
But it is the new Chaos Warriors who got announced, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm actually okay with that. So that's kind of interesting because this box is only really handy to you if you are getting started with one of these factions and already own them.
Right.
Which is actually I kind of think is good because that means Old World is healthy enough that they feel the need to do that.
Well, and Old World 2, at least as far as Warhammer and plastic goes, has been a pretty decent value for your money.
Some jerk named Miniatures Runner has just been doing next in all caps for like 10 minutes as I talked about Warhammer Academy. So, thanks.
That's exactly how I feel too. Thank you.
Yeah. I got my degree in Warhammer, Dad. Are you proud of me now?
Mine's not.
No, he's not. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I like this. And I like that it's not a new edition.
It's fine.
The rule book is just updated.
Yep. Which I hope it will be available later.
I sure hope you get okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong. There are new Chaos.
Yeah, all the Chaos stuff in here is new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got the new Champions of Chaos.
Which they all look great.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Chaos Knights.
Like they look old, like they look appropriately old worldy.
Yes.
And
they look like they're out of Total War Warhammer.
Yeah.
And that's great. And new Chaos Warriors. Okay, so these are new Chaos Warriors. Okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay, I was wrong. I apologize.
They're not the same sculpts as the Age of Sigmar Chaos Warriors.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting. And I mean, you could use them.
Yeah, you absolutely could. There's no reason why you couldn't.
Right.
These have a lot less like chaos like gubbins on them.
Yes, they're also much more compact, so they can fit on the squares and fight in ranks, which is handy. They all look beautiful. And then of course,
Chaos Dragon. It's a really cool model.
Someone mentioned a dragon, and Josh is now interested because Josh likes dragons and collects them. I have the Cathay one. I'm gonna get this one. No, I'm not gonna play those armies. Doesn't matter.
It's a really, really cool model.
Yeah, this is a fantastic Chaos Dragon model. Very happy to see it. Oh boy. Plus, the old Warpfire Dragon, which I'm glad I just sold because that was an $80 metal kit.
Yes, it was.
And was not very good. Of course, there's the alternate version.
Yep, the Sorcerer and then the Lord version. You can make either one on foot if you make the other version.
Yes, which is fun.
Yeah.
They're more willing to do that for the Old World than they are for Age of Sigmar or 40K.
They are. Yeah.
And they're like... and then it should be noted that this rulebook also, which comes in the core set, it looks like it is also going to be available separately.
Oh, okay, great.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy this new core set to get the updated rulebook.
Right.
Handy. Battle March, which is a small scale way to play. It's Combat Patrol for...
Yeah, Combat Patrol for Old World.
And that's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then a General's Companion for Battles March because, that's for... 2 new box sets. These are basically something we didn't have in Old World until now, which is starter box, faction starters. They're combat patrols, spearheads, all that good stuff. They're fine. The Knights one is basically just the half of the box,
right?
And the Cathay one is not the half of the box because they have something different. They have the Longma, Shugungan, Jade Warriors, Lancers, Iron Hail Gunners, and Crane Gunners.
Right.
It always weirded me out that the Iron Hail Gunners and the Crane Gunners come in the same box.
Yeah, it is weird.
Which I don't like.
Yeah.
Because you might feel them separately. But anyway. And then a new Arcane Journal, which is the March of Chaos.
And this is how they continue to push the Old World forward, is they release these Arcane Journals, and most factions get something in the Arcane Journals typically.
New Army of Infamy, where you can combine the Warriors of Chaos with the Beastmen Brayherds, and rules for your wizards to manipulate the winds of magic in new ways. You can also create your own custom Champions of Chaos.
That's neat. I always like when they do stuff like that.
Yep. And some card packs.
Okay. Yep.
Card packs.
They have a limited lifespan.
Yep. And that's fine.
Yeah.
All cool stuff. Not factions I play, but
not factions I play in Old World either. And we have Blood Bowl.
Speaking of games I don't play,
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl big guys and fast games. So first off, we've got Morgan Thorg, some old. I mean, this is an old.
Oh yeah,
old,
that's
old
super
guy.
super old. Yeah.
I mean, the
new sculpt.
This new sculpt, new plastic sculpt.
Yes.
Not resin, which is nice.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
It's a good model.
Morgan Thorg. So.
Then the Minotaur.
Yeah, which also. That was an old sculpt that really needed redoing, and it's in plastic.
Minotaurs have been ruined for me.
Why?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, you play Hades and like the stereos a little too much. Gotcha. Another rat ogre. This one was also a resin sculpt that I actually had, because for a while when the rat ogres in Skaven were awful.
Yes.
And you couldn't get the plastic Isle of Blood ones, but the only ones that were available was the plastic that looked like He-Man action figures. A lot of us used the Blood Bowl ones.
And honestly, you could use this.
Still could. Yeah.
It's fine.
Again, in plastic. Blood Bowl 7s. So
even smaller version of Blood Bowl.
Yes. At first I thought, oh, so they're finally like making Blitz Bowl more accessible, and the answer is no. They're just doing 7s, which okay.
I mean, it's once again, it's fine. I think Games Workshop is they have been like kind of pounding on ways to play the game with less commitment.
That dragon looks Forge World. It does look Forge World, but it's plastic, which is the good thing. Something that my guys look as awesome as AOS with keeping them on square bases. Yes, they're getting better.
Because Old World and Games Workshop has said themselves that Old World is selling way better than they anticipated.
Yes,
and
turns out, like, I mean, again, I think Total War Warhammer had a huge thing.
Oh, absolutely.
The fact
that's why we have Cathay in Old World.
Which where's Kislev?
Yep. Give us Kislev. Give us the bears.
Kislev.
Give us bears.
Kislev. Sorry, the old memes of every time someone would say Kislev on the Reddit, it would just be 20 people responding just Kislev. Because when you clicked on Kislev in game, the guy would just say Kislev. Anyway. Old World Chaos stuff is now beautiful. Yep. The newish Marauders, which are also beautiful.
Yes, they are.
And those new Warriors, Dragons make them an amazing range. Agreed. Like, it's now like, oh god, would I play that? I would. I'm not going to, because I don't need to buy another army.
Right.
I did buy Old World rule books, but it's to play my Empire that I already have. Because I don't need to buy another. If I was going to play another faction, it would be Cathay, because...
I play Dwarves.
Yep, because Miao Yang. Really? Would never have guessed. I thought you were an elf player.
Don't slander me like that.
Not Paladin. Rundown says, ha, Longma.
Don't.
I made that joke when it was announced. You hear what the new Cathay Longma? What's a Cathay? Longma. Yeah.
Can we move on, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Cujo. K911. I went back and watched Necromunda. I have almost every book for Necromunda. Only need the last 4 books. Should I worry about completing my collection or just start over? I mean, if you want to complete them just to have them, which is a fun thing to do so. Maybe wait until after the new edition, because they'll be cheap on eBay.
Right.
Don't buy them new in strength unless you really want that kind of collecting experience. Otherwise, just wait. The books are all going out. Yes, moving on. That's Blood Bowl for you.
Yep.
We don't play it, but it's a good game.
Yeah, it is good. Actually, it's probably one of the better games they make.
Yeah. Horse Heresy. Nays of Darkness. New Didn't get it? Horse Heresy.
I hate you so much. I hate you.
Heresy is magic. New plastic custodes. But wait, didn't we get plastic custodes? Yes, but what about second plastic custodes?
We're getting another serving of custard. But so something I want to point out. Scroll up. Something I want to point out they did interesting is that they put both the Horse Heresy and 40K branding on the same box.
Which means that they'll hopefully keep them in the rules, which I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. The Telemann Heavy Dreadnought.
Which is a really cool model.
It is, but isn't that a Pokemon?
I don't think Telemann's a Pokemon.
Oh, sorry, definitely a Digimon.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely a Digimon with like a telephone-themed Digimon.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I'm sure there's someone there that knows that.
Here's the thing. The only problem with this is it's not the other Dreadnought, which I think is about 1,000,000 times cooler.
Okay.
Because it's got that cool sword and shield. It's fine. It's fine. Kind of reminds me of a Saturnine, which I don't really like.
Oh, yeah, it does have a similar, like, structure as a Saturnine, a little less chunky.
But, oh my god, all these little bits hanging off here.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh. He's got a giant las cannon, or whatever else you want on him.
That is a las... I don't know what that is. I don't know. Arachnus Storm Cannon.
Yes, I was going to say, it's either... you can choose from a Telemann Caestus with a Twin neutronium cascade projector.
Great.
An Arachnus storm cannon, an Adriatic desolator, and a Albuquerque sausage for
Elastis Accelerator
yeah,
Culverin.
Whatever. Look, I don't. Yes. None of these words mean anything. Sorry, I'm having an existential crisis over trying to read all that and pretend that it's not. This is like the Gear Falcon. It doesn't.
Griffalcon.
Whatever they're trying to do, it's wrong.
Yeah.
They're jet bikes. It's good.
Yeah,
cool.
They look really cool.
Yes.
Specifically, this red and gold paint scheme is very pretty.
New jet bikes, which is great because jet bikes are how you play Custodes in 40K and have for like 3 editions now.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't think that's changed this edition either. I'm pretty sure because it's the only way you have any mobility, and mobility is how you actually win games.
They are an important part of modern Custodes forces.
However, these look great, and then you got the Palace Gravitac, which, like I said last time, looks like a Star Wars vehicle, and I mean that very positively.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it looks good.
New Journal Tactica, Prospero Burns, The Judgment of Valdor. We lit the pyramids on fire.
So what's cool about this book, though, is that it has full rules for Tzeentch demons, which is really nice. Because right now, if you play Ruinstorm, you're like you have kind of generic demons.
Yeah.
So now there's full rules for Tzeentch demons in this, which is nice because that's something that we didn't have in Horus Heresy.
Okay, 6 means in the combo box. Yeah. Really hope we get a Sisters of Battle Silence range overhaul. Yeah, they're not. They're kind of showing their age. Hoping for Sisters of Silence kill team. You can use them in Inquisitors or in the you can use Sisters of Silence in the Inquisitorial kill team. Well, we all want things.
It's nice to want stuff.
Daniel Jennegraus, hello. Says it is Regigiga shaped. Daniel Jennegraus knows a little bit about Digimon, so I'm gonna take their word for it. I don't know.
I made the mistake of asking for this information.
I don't know what that means. I hate that the Horus Heresy 2.0 Talons book we hugely fleshed out the Sisters of Silence, so everyone expected they were getting new kits, and then nothing happened, and then the 3.0 book went no.
The one thing I really
accelerated Culverin cheese curds.
Culverin cheese curds. Spicy.
Yep. This is and as Ziggy points out, this is just completing the conversion to plastic, which is good. Gyro, yeah, I know that it's supposed to be gyro jet bikes. It's just done wrong. Jet bikes look like that scene from Family Guy where he goes in and out of the train tunnel repeatedly.
Oh! Okay.
Now that you've said it, I can see it, and god dang it.
Very, very Geiger inspired.
Well, you know what? I hope they aren't too hard to put together. Anyway. Yeah, the Dean of the Tzeentch army list. So yeah, that is cool. I like that. Again, I don't play Horus Heresy. Kevin does. I want to try it sometime. Just with everything else going on, I haven't gotten around to it.
There's only so many hours a day, guys.
Yeah. What's next? Imperialis.
Small heresy.
Big things in small heresies.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Warlord Titan, of course, the big one, because that is the big one. This is a Warlord Titan 4. If you know, this is how most of us, if we ever actually want to play a Warlord Titan, how we're actually going to.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, Quick Cannon and Conversion Beam Extirpator. I think you can get pills for that.
Go to your doctor.
It's a Warlord Titan.
It looks cool.
With new weapons. You also have one with a Volkite Destructor and a Macro Gatling Blaster.
I know we make fun of Warhammer animation, but on the channel, but there is a series of about a maniple of Warlord Titans. It is really cool. And,
I mean, yeah, and the Warlord Titans are cool.
Yeah.
Like, I would almost get one of these. Reaver Titan, which is slightly smaller.
It's the medium Titan.
Yeah. I think it's only like $800 if you want to buy the Forgeable one.
No, it's 2,000.
2,000? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I actually really like the Reaver Titan.
I do too. It's actually my favorite of the Titan.
Yes, visually it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't look like he's wearing apple bottom beans. Apple bottom jeans.
He needs those thick calves for when
apple bottom jeans.
Because people be coming up to him and whacking him.
Obliterator.
All right. Fine.
But
what's cool is that there's a lot of weapon options on here that I haven't seen on Reaver Titans. Because usually you see the missile rack as the carapace weapon. Sometimes a laser destructor.
Are those news guns plastic? Yes. All of this is
plastic.
All this is plastic. Everything is in plastic. They also have rules for Adeptus Titanicus. So,
yes.
that's really nice. Is there not a bigger one? I think there is in lore a bigger one.
Imperator Titan.
But yeah, the Imperator Titan. But GW's never made that even as
they only made it an epic.
Oh, they did make an epic.
They did make it an epic. and it was a metal kit. But of course, Epic was Legion's Imperialis is 12 millimeter. Epic was 6 millimeter, so it was like this big.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Reaver's the second smallest. Oh, okay. So 5 including Paratest. All right, what's the other one? Anyway, yeah. So these are great. I'm glad they're getting rules. I'm glad they're plastic. I'm glad they're still playable in Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah.
Which is, I think.
I hear that that's a really great game. I've never actually played it.
I've played once. I prefer it to BattleTech.
Well, okay.
Look, I like.
We're setting the bar real high.
I like BattleTech mechs. I don't know if there's a game I like less rules-wise, honestly. All right. Now, we're not going to talk about the animation. They talked about the animation. It's an animation. It's cool.
Yeah.
You can watch it if you want.
Watch it.
Not our bag. Because there's not much to talk about it here without... and then I think Mitchell said on our Discord that if it wasn't ogres, he'd eat his hat. Well, he is not going to eat his hat because it's ogres!
And they are really cool.
Yes. So we've, of course, as always, with a new... army. This isn't a new army, but it kind of is a new army because they're basically refreshing.
It's a total range refresh.
Yeah, it is a complete range refresh from stuff that was old world, right? And you get an army box.
Yep.
Very interesting that they are not making the mistake they often make with army boxes and elite units, which is not including very much. They kind of seem to have picked up on the fact that it doesn't matter what the value proposition is, if you only put 7 models in the box, get mob, it's not going to be sell well.
That was a terrible box.
That was an awful box.
This box is really great actually because you could buy 2 of these, and that's a good value.
Yeah, and just have an army.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at now. Here's the thing: I don't like ogres a lot, but I don't hate them, and I like that they exist. But I never really jive with their playstyle or their models. That being said, their old models
they show their age.
Some of them are bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're like
this isn't.
No, this is a great model. And what's cool about all these models that we're going to talk about for ogres is that they have seated them firmly in the AOS lore and aesthetic, and they are now separated from Old World. You could totally use these as ogres.
Yeah, that being said, as someone who was playing the most recent Total War DLC, which is the Bashiva, the White Tigress of Cathay, who primarily fights ogres, every one of these would fit on that battlefield, and I wouldn't blink an eye.
That's fair. And the ogres in Total War do look different than the ogres.
Yes, they look a lot better.
Yeah,
and these look a lot better.
Right.
So we've got the Tyrant here. I mean, he's, you guys know what a Tyrant is. He's great. It was very strange of them to put this under Age of Sigmar when these are all clearly Ogren models for Necromunda. But I like it. I guess they're from
there's definitely an Ogren slopper in here. So.
Oh yeah, and again, I would use any of these for the Ogren models before I used most Ogren models.
That's fair.
We've got the new this
that Tyrant variant with the cape on the shoulder is really cool. More of the ice brow.
More if you're leaning into the Everwinter part of things, which I love. Gluttons,
the new Gluttons look great.
Your basics, those were a kit that were really showing their age.
Real bad.
And these aren't. These are great. That's a classic ogre thing right there.
Yeah.
The huge scimitar.
Yep.
And they nailed it. Like everything here still looks exactly like ogres.
It's Warhammer ogres.
This isn't a problem I usually have with Age of Sigmar, but it is a problem some people have with Age of Sigmar. When they change things, they do ground them in Age of Sigmar, but sometimes they whole cloth invent things to ground them in, right?
Sure.
That is not the case here.
No, I agree with that actually. The same thing with the Iron Guts.
Yeah.
The Iron Guts are just clearly a glow up, and
BattleTech isn't a game, it's a series of charts.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Last in EVE Online spreadsheets. I don't play EVE Online either. The great thing about BattleTech mechs is there are several anime full of them. Weirdly enough, all of them predating BattleTech. Happy Pride Month Char fans out there, but you know who you are. EVE Online isn't a game, as a job. I think this ogre box is great and has made me think of buying some for CGC or Sloppers.
Yeah.
It wasn't EVE Online for. I don't even know what any of those words mean, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we believe you. Just face value.
Yes,
that guy right there.
Again, classic ogre helmet, scimitar, swords, eh?
Yeah.
And they're so, boy, they nailed this refresh because they're so indisputably Warhammer ogres, which are different than other ogres.
They are, yes.
The Maul Beast Cavalry. Now they did have to come up with some new names. That being said,
I do love this mount a lot.
I think that makes up. I will forgive them making new names and kind of sunsetting old things in exchange for whatever the heck this is, because this is awesome.
Yeah.
I want that mount for I don't even know what, but I want that to kit bash. They look kind of like mini death claws.
They do, yes.
And this one just looks like it's doing the.
Yeah, it's grinning at you. It wants to hit you in its tummy.
I would like to. You have food? Oh, you are food. Yeah, they're great. I love them.
And they did say in stream they do replace Warhammer Cavalry.
Yes. But you could still probably use your old Warhammer.
You absolutely. I mean, I have ogres. I have the Everwinter stuff, and so I do have 12 Mornfang Cavalry, which I'm going to use for a while. I will pick these guys up eventually because these guys are way better models than the Mornfang. This is awesome.
Red the Maw. Daughters of Cain players everywhere feeling jealous that
they've got a bigger pot.
I mean, this is just Daughters of Cain but fat.
Yeah.
Like, what if you took Daughters of Cain and then you played Monster Factory and said no middle sliders and just put everything to the end? That's what these guys are. And none of that, by the way, is a complaint. So this is kind of reminiscent of Azag the Slaughterer from the old world.
Yes.
The man who dragged a pot behind him all the time, except, we got to raise it to the extreme. And again, this is not a complaint. Love this. I love the 2 bodyguards. Some people don't like the diorama models. I
actually really like diorama models.
Depends entirely on it. I did not like Catacross.
Oh, okay, really?
Well, I loved Catacross. I loved all of his individual parts. That guy walking around the battlefield in that format didn't feel right. This feels like a battlefield
being dragged around on
procession that makes sense.
Okay, I understand. Its distinction.
Like it. Yeah. For the ogres, Red the Maw is a prophet of their monstrous god. To outsiders, he's a blood-caked avatar of primeval terror. Yeah. And this is your new centerpiece, and he is glorious.
Yeah, it's a great model.
And I will interest you all in our Lord and Savior Gundam. I mean, yes, Gundam is better than BattleTech. I don't think
you're gonna find any disagreement here.
Right. I love my series of charts, but calling it as a game is a push. That's actually a Shem here, not a scimitar. That is true. Yes.
Oh, good point.
They do have different names, technically. Welcome to Ash Waste, Mounted Ogrins.
Oh.
I mean,
that beast does fit in Ash Waste.
I mean, yes. Yes. Do I ever want to mount an Ogren? Do I ever want an Ogren to be mounted on the Ash Waste, considering they're 5 up initiative? No, it's kind of like squats on dirt bikes.
Hey!
Which is a terrible but fun idea.
It's a great idea. Shut up.
Those are the so-called hecking good doggos, I believe. These mounts seem like they'd be interesting as Ash Waste options. I mean, yeah, we're all thinking it, right? I want to use that mini as a centerpiece for the ritual or some CGC terrain.
Ooh,
Corpse Grinder cults here. A big Corpse Grinder cult Ogren. A big Chaos Corrupted Ogren.
Oh, yeah.
Daughters of Cain but fat. Yeah, so all of them are working for Kadar too. It's a well-fed Kadar instead of a starving. Paladin Pariah CGC is Corpse Grinder cults. So the corn-touched meat butchers from Necromunda. Red the Maw can get gone. That massive cauldron is such a good terrain piece. Yeah, but then you could use him as the awakened Ogren.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The psychic Ogren, with his 8 willpower.
He's trying really hard. This is cool.
The Butcher is a classic model. Now redone. It's gross. It's disgusting. They're really leaning into that. The flabs, they've really captured that.
They have spent an inordinate amount of time watching My 600-Pound Life.
I was just gonna say they went to they just went to a Warhammer convention and just
no.
I'm allowed to say that I put on some weight. I'm not allowed to say that. Don't be fat phobic, folks. It's not nice.
No, it's not.
But geez, they made this guy gross, right? And with the face and the Don't love it. But by that I mean it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awame model.
The Cleavers, which is kind of a generic or a different butcher.
There's your Slopper.
Yeah, there's your Slopper. I think they'd be less pale. They really went pale on all the ogres, and I don't know why.
I think they were trying to lean out of the more pirate ogres.
Where they were kind of pirate and Mongolian.
Yeah.
They were kind of Mongolian coded, which is always kind of weird and a bordering on a little problematic sometimes. They kept the Fu Manchu mustaches, which is great.
Yeah.
But then now they're all kind of weird and upsetting. There's basically
Well, in Age of Sigmar 2, the lore for ogres is really weird too.
Yes.
Wherever they go in numbers, mouths start appearing in the ground and stuff like that. Like it's got some really weird and fun lore.
Ziminum throws out the rules might change. The mounts might work differently. Maybe ogres won't be bad on mounts going forward.
That's right. We don't know.
We don't know. I am assuming that is correct. Either way, they're still cool. I mean, I think we should use them either way. Give them magical tentacle arm. Yeah. Of course, we're gonna call terrain. Use it as a warp fiend.
Oh, okay.
GW does not always. They do live on snowy mountains sometimes, because the Everwinter thing is not all ogres, but it's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's like one of their aspects of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys can also be built as Gutseers, who are ogre wizards.
Yep.
And boy howdy, are those weird in the best way.
I love that the gut plates have intestines.
Yep. And then of course the Battle Tome, which we all knew was coming. Hey, at least it's got new art.
It does have new art. That's brand new art.
And War Scroll cards, Gamers Edition, all that good stuff.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. Yep. The backgrounds of the ogres and their deity, rules for lots of new units, including a whole new subset of the Ogre Maw tribes race known as Maw Seekers, who are led by Red the Maw. So it looks like we're getting a different one from the Everwinter.
Right.
We're probably going to have like Everwinter and then the Maw Seekers.
And they did tell us on stream too, though, that if we have the Stonehorns and the Thunder Tusk, that those are still compatible with the new book.
Yes.
So that's nice.
Not everything's getting replaced.
Right.
They did say there will be even more new models, though.
Yes, they kind of showed a little teaser at the end, which I think might be whatever the Stonehorn / Thunder Tusk is going to be. So.
And last, we'll end with some Kill Team.
Okay.
Which is the Exodites. Now, Kevin, never an elf fan. However, and I'm not normally a big Eldar fan. However,
so as a long-time Warhammer fan, going back 20 years, I can appreciate this, even though it's elves.
It's about bloody time because Exodites have been in the lore for decades, and you idiots had elf riding dinosaurs with lasers in your pocket and haven't used it, and you're still not really using.
They're just towing in. They're just towing in. Yeah.
If you don't know anything about the Exodites, they when the fall happened, Celeste was born and wiped out most of the Eldar race and then corrupted the rest. They basically escaped and settled on Maiden Worlds, cut off all contact. These days you'll find them riding around on awesome dragons. Now, like, the decision to in Kill Team have mounted models is bizarre.
And what's even more interesting is that this box with the three Exodites and the 2 doggos is a single player / co-op box.
Yes.
And
which is another thing that's a pretty prescient in wargaming right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what else I can say about these besides these are elves riding dinosaurs.
They look cool. I mean, all joking and dwarf thoughts aside, these are cool models.
I mean, this guy right here with this like, what you shooting?
What you looking at? What you looking at?
And these are fine. These are fantastic. I love them. They're great. I will hope to get them, paint them at some point. I do wonder if they haven't missed their own boat because so many third-party people have been doing dinosaur riding elves because they weren't.
Right.
That, like, they've got to do some spectacular stuff. And, boy, 3 models and 2 pets ain't much.
It's not. One, like I said, somewhat jokingly, but I think very seriously, though, is that they're testing the market to see if this will succeed.
Super chat from Valhalla Malta. More Eldar for GW to neglect. Yay! How many guys are in a Custodes Kill Team? 4. The box is rough. 20 orcs and 3 Eldar. Hard to split that. Yeah, like, I'm sure I'm sure that these guys have tons of wounds and other things that make them very much worth the points.
Right.
But yeah, it's not a great start, in my opinion. Now, these are still fantastic models. Like, this is my favorite. The Clan Blade. This is my favorite one. Stone Singer is, of course, your mage, kind of your mage priest one. And then
and then we got the sniper with the
Blaze Stalker is the.
But they also build an alternate kit.
Yes, which makes me wonder what's coming down the road.
Right.
Are we going to get Exodites into Eldar? If that happens, I'm playing Eldar finally. Like,
gross.
I know, but dinosaurs.
Gross.
I might kit bash all the elf heads off.
Okay, I approve of this.
And put like skink heads on them, so it's dinosaurs.
Okay, I
riding
definitely
dinosaurs.
approve of this idea.
Because that I'm into, right? Like, just imagine a skink on top here just going. As you get shot in the face. Hola, skinks. Dracolids are,
doggos.
Little dragon doggos. They're adorable. I love them too. And then the Exodite Dragon Knights can also, alternatively be assembled as Lance-armed Exodite Dragon Knights who will have rules for Warhammer 40,000. So we're definitely getting these guys
as a unit.
Yes. Yeah. Which is a great start. I hope these aren't the only Exodites we see in Eldar.
Man, would that be such a missed opportunity?
That would be such a bummer. It's like how there's the, in Age of Sigmar, there's the one unit of Umberneth.
Yeah.
In Daughters of Cain.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that we've had for Umberneth for 6 years now.
By the way, my wife is extremely disappointed that the reveal today was Ogres and not Umberneth.
I didn't think it was going to be Umberneth.
I didn't either, but
they'll wait for that.
But every time there's a reveal, she tells me that it needs to be Umberneth.
I'm with her. I want there to be Umberneth. Even if I don't play them, I want to see what Malarian looks like when he's a dragon shadow man. That sounds awesome. So I hope this is the Herald. First off, all of these I love too.
Yeah, they're really cool sculpts.
I want more. Give me the ability to play a full Exodites list, But of course, then they would probably end up like Harlequins, where they just get like really shafted by the rules because GW doesn't want.
Well, no.
Soup, but...
Or what will happen is that they're extremely strong on release.
Oh yeah, well that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But at one point GW was combining all the elf factions, and then they take backsies, and all the elves except the normal ones suffered. So, but yeah, and then you also get 20 just normal Beast Snagga boys, which is fine. It includes a guide to building and painting terrain to create your own maiden world. Woohoo! I mean, that's great. Like, could have made some terrain for that, but there's almost no showing off of the Beast Snagga boys. I know they're just Beast Snaggers.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
And I like the Beast Snaggas.
I actually do. I
actually really like that kit. But yeah, it's weird that they
it's
don't show
really
us
like I said, this is a really cool box because of what they've decided to explore with it.
Yes.
I'm not personally excited for it, but that's just because they're filthy elves. And
yeah,
I'm glad that they're there though.
Yes, I am glad that they're there. And that's it for the preview.
It was pretty meaty.
Yes, this was not a nothing burger by any stretch of the imagination. We'll end here on the
Necromunda.
On the Necromunda, because
that we care about.
We at the end of the day, we know where we're at. Let's do some comment reading.
Yeah.
In the Road of Not the Dragons. They also have giant mechs to help herd those dragons, while being a very fuel society with all the associated finery. Right? Yeah. There's so much cool stuff about Exodites, and they're not using it. you idiots! Like
when the Votan strip mined their planet. That was a good day.
You ever want to see a bunch of squats eating my dinosaurs? Give me my Harlequins kill team. Oh yeah, well it says they're gonna have rules in the codex, so I just want more,
Right.
Carnoth Hunters only have a handful of minis in Warhammer Underworlds of all things with Sylvaneth rather than having a fleshed out line.
Yeah.
Yep, same thing. Like Carnothi, I've often said, like, I want to see more Carnothi, like the weird half animal elves. We don't get them. We got 2 things for them. It's really annoying. Ugly models often get OP rules. Cool models get bad rules. So here's the thing, and this is some behind the scenes, having talked to people who work with people who do that and like playtest this stuff. GW doesn't have the presence of mind for that. GW isn't capable of
it's true
intentionally writing, like, with some very, very, very big exceptions. Every time GW has written rules that are too good, it's because they were just trying to make something cool to play. They weren't going for this is super powerful. They were going, oh, we want this to feel like a really cool unit to play.
Right.
Let's get them all this cool stuff and abilities. And then it's too powerful. And every time they wrote a model that had really bad rules, they didn't realize it.
Right.
It was because, oh, well, they'll give them this really cool thing. And what's cool and what's good
are two different.
And this is what happens when you move all your playtesting to internal playtesting and just kind of don't have external playtesting anymore, which is fine. But then, like, when you only have, like, the playtesting is just done by, like, the guys in the office now.
That is literally it.
Yeah, it is literally, like, 10 people playtesting all of these rules.
And let me tell you, that's not enough people.
No, and what happens is it's just, and, like, this is almost to their a good thing about them, because that sounds like I'm insulting them, but the reality is it's 10 people who just think this crap's really cool, kind of being high on their own supply of this being really cool, and like, oh yeah, you know, those Desolator Marines, they can fire from, and isn't that really cool that they can do that with this? And then it turns out they're like,
no, these are really actually not awful.
Yeah. And then it turns out they was actually like, you know, incredibly overpowered, and we all hated them, and they really needed a nerf. It's almost more frustrating that GW doesn't actually have the intentionality that we ascribe them to them, because
it would be way, a lot of things would make way more sense if they did.
GW did try to put the genie back in the bottle with Eldar factions because they tried to do that Ynnari thing,
right?
And I don't know what caused the change, because after that is when they decided that we don't want to do soup anymore. And because in the that edition, was that late 8th edition, I believe? You know, soup in all factions that had the ability to do it was incredibly overpowered. Like, it became the game.
Right.
To the point where it was harming and driving people away.
Right.
Because it was like, well, my faction has no identity except as a single regiment in soup. And then you pick the best overall faction, which was Marines.
Right.
Of course. And then you just soup everything into that. Ynnari was the same way.
Yep.
So I don't know if it was that they decided to, never mind, we need to pull all these people apart again and put them back in their own factions, and then things like Harlequins, which do not have enough to be their own army.
Right.
Despite not being that fewer models than Custodies.
That's true.
You know,
because they're elves.
Yeah, they get shafted by it, and you know, Drakari kind of got shafted by it, and Eldar, of course, who had all the models, they were fine. So, you know, on the flip side, I just want to see more. I don't care. I just want to see more dinosaurs on elves. Elves on dinosaurs.
That's not a bad thing to want.
Well, one of those was. I just want to see more elves on dinosaurs. Because it's cool and it's a cool idea, and I would play Eldar even if they are bad. If I got to play a table full, you know, I want to see Exodite warriors, like,
ooh, that'd be fun.
Like guys with spears, you know, and like ancient
laser spears.
Yeah, like ancient archaic technology. I want to see that. The satyr elves, Skateswald Hunt, they're Kurnothi, is the name of them. Yep. The animal people elves. Super Salon live stream. Thank you. So, which gang's book do we think we'll see the Paladin Enforcers and the Vendors in? I don't know. The Paladin Enforcers. I think the Paladin Enforcers are going to be in the Book of the Outlands. I think they just got so many rules. It would be really stupid of them to not sell rules for those brand new plastic kits they just dumped out, right? I even forgot about Corsairs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Corsairs are another one. Honestly, we should just have Corsairs and Exodites and Harlequins in one book. Just have basically Imperial agents, but elves.
Actually, that's probably not a bad idea.
It probably wouldn't be very good, just like Imperial agents. But at least it would be playable.
You can use them.
Yeah. I mean, really what I'd like to see is everyone get their own factions, but they're not going to do that many different elven factions because we need to put more Marines out.
More dwarves.
No, we don't need any more dwarves. What other dwarves can we even have?
We can have in AOS. We can have Kazil.
No, Age of Sigmar. Oh, Age of Sigmar, different story. Totally more dwarves on board.
Okay.
40K.
Well, I have dreams and wants, and
most of those dwarves aren't very clothed, if you know what I mean.
hey, that's the Patreon only.
So are you saying that we have dinosaurs with elves?
Well, so here's the thing too: is like
and then mammals with dwarves.
If they're gonna,
and it's a fight off, like the dwarves are riding like old proto mammals, and they're all cave dwars.
All right, so I hate you. But no, I actually because at the the leagues of Votann are a part of the total squat like landscape, right?
Yes.
Like there are squats that aren't related to the leagues that exist out there in the galaxy, and so but they still have access to Dark Age tech. They still have all that stuff, and I mean maybe we could see some representation like that.
Squat Marines.
Squat Marines.
Just squats in just brute power armor.
You know what? I'd totally accept that.
Yeah, you would. Squats, but they have elf ears.
I hate you.
Elves, but they have beards.
All right, I'm going.
Do we even get Genociders? And here's the thing, we don't know. Or just Malstrain.
There's so much that it's so hard. Yeah. Like, we could make predictions all day long. And
all they said on the stream was everything else is in the Outlands book. And if there's justice in the world, that means everything. But
I mean, I guess there would be room for it if the book, I don't know. Like, it's so hard to say.
Yeah. Will 11th finally bring us Dark Mechanicus? I don't get my hopes up. Because Dark Mechanicus is my dream faction more than like X-Knights. X-Knights are really cool, don't get me wrong, but Dark Mechanicus, because I love tech weirdos, little tech weirdos,
and they're extra weird,
and I love them. Yeah.
I mean, we do at least have some vision of Dark Mechanicus from Legions Imperialis.
Yes.
So
and there's like the Lord Discordant.
Right.
And there's some other random individual, Vashtor.
Yep.
So they're out there, and I would like a full army of Dark Mechanicus. Yes.
I wouldn't say no to that. Yeah.
But I wouldn't want just Skitarii with Chaos Cults or the robes. That's not fun. I want them to be proper weird. But yeah, that's it. So obviously the big draw for us, of course, the big news is Necromunda's New Edition. That being said, I don't think there's anything else in here I didn't like.
There's nothing in here I actively hated, except for maybe like the free thing.
Yeah, I mean, even that I don't hate. It's just whatever, it exists. The fact it's free means okay, sure.
That's fair.
I mean, it's sometimes it's nice to be able to point people towards a resource.
That's true.
It's all going to be very bland and corporate.
Yep.
But sometimes you want bland and corporate because otherwise you accidentally send someone to someone who, has very strong opinions about what Black Templars do in their spare time. And or sometimes like, there are people who do lore videos who are just wrong.
That's also
because
true.
You end up with chains of like, well, some guy from 1D4chan updated a wiki and someone read that and now believes it's complete truth and there's no actual lore basis for it.
Right.
But like it gets
okay.
Ad
infinitum.
I
mean, you've talked me into not actively hating it.
Like and now unfortunately, like I was about to say, well, it gives me something I can point to towards like being, Bible canon or whatever. But the reality is that people who have strong feelings about what Black Templars do in their off time are just going to say that's it's better back when it was old and it was this, and that's my Warhammer, which is great in many circumstances.
Not in that particular one.
Not that one. Unless you say Black Templars in their off time are, just like to read a lot of pro-imperial literature. It's fine. Either way, it's fine. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm probably never going to watch it. And that's it. In short, we really need a series of new edition articles sooner rather than later. I mean, yeah. It's like the Lamentor's Warcry being completely fictitious, but accepted as fact because it was up on a wiki for years. Yes. Like, that's just something somebody added from their own headcanon or whatever, and it becomes law, which sometimes does happen to benefit.
Right, yeah. I mean, these are...
I just accidentally kicked the...
Okay, well, we lost our computer. So
sorry.
That's dead. That's okay.
You can just put us up on screen, Cody. If that's possible. Sorry about that. I bumped it and it completely reset. No, it just fell asleep.
Oh. Fair.
Ouch. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I thought that I bumped the computer, but I didn't. It just fell asleep because apparently I hadn't clicked it in 5 minutes.
It was bored of us.
Anyway, yeah. So, all good stuff.
Yeah.
Happy to see. We will see what happens. Yeah, there's too much everything for one book, and so we'll see what happens with that.
Right.
And I've already said my main concern is like the gap between haves and have-nots.
Right.
As a community, we'll fill that gap.
Yeah, because that's almost certainly going to happen.
Yes. Obviously, we don't have enough information to make any actual judgments yet.
No.
The moment we do, we will let you know. And we will let you know here. So let's do our post. Once again, thank you all for joining. Thank you for all the super chats and all your other support and chatting with us. It's always a fun time. We would do these streams if nobody watched. We've done streams where nobody's watched them, but they're not nearly as fun as when you're all here. So thank you for all being here and chatting with us. If you want to continue chatting with us, we do have our Discord linked below. It is free to enter and join. Costs nothing. We do also have, if you wish to support us in other ways, we do have a Patreon linked below. There's just a tip jar. There is nothing on there. You do get a red name on Discord. That's about it. Because we don't want to hide anything behind payment. We want everything we do to be available to all of you.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes, Warhammer's expensive. You might not have any money left over for YouTube, which is completely understandable.
I get it. I'm not going to fault you for that.
But thank you to all of those who do support. And just those of you who support by commenting and watching and all that good stuff. You've heard it from every YouTuber, but it's always true because we really appreciate it. Whatever happens with New Necromunda, we will be here to talk about it.
We're going to do it.
Just like we'll talk about new 11th edition stuff and New Age of Sigmar stuff when we get around to that. Stay tuned. thank you all again so much. Hope you had a great time, and we will see you in the future.
Goodbye. I love you.
And